Hello everybody and welcome to the Wooden Sheep podcast. I'm already furious, and with us today we've got Rage Wild, the Lizard Man. We've got Tommy, the Grandmaster of all things. And you've got me, Angry Boy, Wooden Sheep, because YouTube is already fucking with my shit. I don't know if it connected this stream now to the other one as well, but I'll edit that post. We'll see.
Damn, we'll have like a triple stream.
Basically,
incoming 9-hour video.
I did a test stream and YouTube, it was unlisted, and I made a public one, and YouTube combined both of them into one, so it was just me going boop, boop, boop at the beginning of the stream. Everyone was staring at me clicking on random things on my screen. And now we don't know if this one, I don't know if I'm going boop, boop at the beginning of this one, we'll see. But yeah, I'm already angry. Tommy, in Dungeons & Dragons, is GM Grandmaster?
No,
it's Game Master.
Why would you think it's Grandmaster?
I didn't know, I thought it was Grandmaster. You're like the Grandmaster of the game, that's what I called you that for.
Well, like, I guess it works.
I mean, Grandmaster sounds cooler, in my opinion, than Game Master.
But it seems like, yeah, I don't know.
Like, Game Master is like nerdy, but Grandmaster is like you're a giant, like a cool wizard, you know?
Yeah,
like you're
that could
wise.
be Grandmaster weaponry too.
Sure, yeah, whatever that means.
Be anything.
And
motherfucker. You can do anything you want.
So, yeah, we were struggling to find an interesting article to open on, but I said, screw it. Like, this is the accumulation of like 3 months of amazing games that I've been playing, stuff that hasn't been really talked about and whatever. I just want to talk about these because the last episode was like bullshit. We were talking about something else, and the one before that interrupted early. So yeah, I've got a lot of really good games to talk about. I don't know about you guys. I'm pretty sure you do. And I want to open on one called Noita. Is that how you pronounce it, Ray, do you think?
Noita, yeah.
Noita? So me and Rage have both been playing Noita. It's I don't know if you, Rage, played with this, but as a kid I used to love playing. There was this like sand simulation games where every single pixel is simulated, and you can do like fire and oil and plants and whatever, and they all interacted with each other. And that's what this game is, except as an actual like fully realized roguelike game, where it's kind of like Spelunky in a weird way, but with simulated pixels. I don't know if Tommy, you found it on your own, or if you want me to send it to you. But yeah, I really loved playing this game. I actually want to get back to it, but as you can see, like in that little preview, you threw a bomb and it just exploded all the dirt around, and all the water is simulated, all the pixels interact with each other. There's like poisonous fumes that, look at that, they like incinerate when you throw fire into them. And it's one of those games like Spelunky where you're just minding your own business, and maybe you shoot one crossbow and it goes stray, and then just like ice comes tumbling down, and then oil. Yeah, like this is a perfect summation of the game. You die to the stupidest shit, but you're never really mad because it's just so ridiculous and funny.
I still have like no idea what the game is really about, so please explain it to me.
Rage, are you playing it right now?
Yes, I just
okay.
I wanted to finish this run. It was a really good run.
He's giving us a dramatic like recreation of how you feel when you play the game.
But yeah, that's the farthest I've gotten so far.
Yeah, Tommy, I mean, what are you confused about?
Well, I mean, I know it's a roguelike now, but I'm not quite like what are you talking about with the particles and stuff?
Well, I mean, if you watch
like a physics simulation.
Yeah, watch the first trailer of on the Steam page. Watch the first trailer. You want me to send it to you?
Let's do it. I'll find it. Don't worry.
Well,
I have never been on YouTube before.
On Steam. Yeah, I sent first trailer. Yeah.
First of all, it's quite a hard game.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is.
And the second one is an important mechanic is in this game you have like liquids and powders that are just randomly all there in the dungeons. Like for example, you have coal, like full mountains of coal or snow or gunpowder, and then you have like liquids like water, blood, slime, oil, and as you go along, like your ropes get stained with, like you get wet, or you get full of oil, or you get full of acid or something, and that influences your character. Like, for example, if you're completely covered in goo or like in slime, you move slower, but it's harder to get set on fire, which can also happen that you just start burning.
It's just the
really
interactions are really interesting. Like I'm trying to think of more less obvious ones. Oh, like even the weapons that you find, they're like you find different wands and they're randomized, and you can basically the wand itself is like the gun barrel, I guess, and then you find like ammo kind of, and you can basically combine different ammo types and crossbow bolts and stuff like that, and they interact differently depending on what wand you put them in, and you can do things like the next shot that you shoot splits in two and then moves downwards and then explodes and then shoots fire and then slows down and then drops down to the ground immediately. And you can do like really weird, and so you basically find wands that like you shoot once and it explodes in your face and you just die immediately.
It sounds like Binding of Isaac with a lot of things.
Yeah, but it's more randomly generated because Isaac is like every item is preset. I think this is randomly generated stuff.
Yeah.
And no, it really is a lot like Spelunky in the sense that you're going deeper and deeper into some depths, and you just die to the craziest shit. Yeah, it's really fun. I want to play it more actually. I don't know why I stopped, but yeah, it's just fun to blow stuff up and just chaos. And yeah, like the first map is a mine. Like, you know, where you mine and there's a lot of wood around, and you basically just like set a light to something and the whole place goes crazy. Enemies start like burning and then they fall over and they set other things on fire, and maybe you get set on fire. You have to try and find like a water vial to throw down on the ground and splash yourself. And yeah, it's just those like pixel, those I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but there used to be old like Flash games that were this, but this is a game like a full game.
They look exactly like the art style looks like very similar to a lot of things I've seen that are like, yeah, this is physics basically.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. I really like it.
A lot of secrets in the game as well.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's a good game. So I mean, there's so much stuff I want to talk about. Rage, I guess you wanted to talk about the Xbox Game Pass because you've been using it even more than we initially did, and like,
well, that's because the Game Pass has even more value now, and they actually get like the subscription sometimes get games that just released. The most prominent example is the Outer Worlds.
Yeah, you were really.
So if you really want to play the Outer Worlds and really dislike the Epic Game Store, which both things I do, I just played it with the Xbox Game Pass. Yeah.
You spoke really highly of Outer Worlds, like.
I really enjoyed it.
I mean, you called it like a piece of art or something like that.
Most games are a piece of art.
Sure.
But that's a really good one.
Yeah.
Like the beginning is a bit. You are instantly reminded of like Fallout 3 or especially Fallout New Vegas because it's basically the same developer.
Does it play like Fallout? Like, is it basically the same gameplay? Like you loot different things, you interact.
It is similar, very similar, yes. There is no like VATS system like it used to be in Fallout 3 or Fallout 4. But there is a different mechanic in place of it that acts very similar, or maybe it's even better in some aspects actually. But yeah, you decide what guns you use. There are like 3 different types of firearms.
I need to see gameplay. This trailer is really not showing me shit. I think it just got the gameplay.
Yeah, two different types of like melee weapons, like one-handed or two-handed, and then there are. The story is interesting. The characters are really interesting. The dialogue, which is Obsidian is very famous for, is amazing.
Alright.
And unlike Fallout 3 or Fallout 4, there are very few bugs right at the launch.
Alright. I mean,
there's actually one game-breaking bug.
Fallout 3. Sorry, isn't this Obsidian? They didn't make Fallout 3 or 4.
They made New Vegas.
They made New Vegas, yeah. New Vegas, yeah, I don't know.
And New Vegas is arguably the best one, story and dialogue-wise, and like funny characters, interesting quests, stuff like that. And, which is actually true. Like New Vegas has the almost like most wacky and interesting quests out of all, like Fallout 3, Fallout 4, and New Vegas. I encountered one game-breaking bug. but it was a very late game, and there was a solution around it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, really, really well polished.
All right. Yeah, it looks fun.
It sounds kind of like really weird to me that there is a game out there that is kind of like Fallout or like in that similar like open world vein, but it's actually not buggy.
The funny, well, first of all, it's not like one single world. It is like you have different smaller hubs, which are basically represent the different planets you go to.
Okay.
But they are big enough, like they are hubs that are really big. You spend a lot of time in them, and also discover some stuff sometimes. So yeah, but yeah, it is actually there are very few bugs. At least I encountered.
I care less about the bugs and more about the game. You're talking about more about the technicality, like it.
I have to at this point.
I think people put too much importance on that. Like, is the game itself? Do you like it more than Fallout New Vegas? Or is it like you enjoyed it just as much?
Yes, I do.
You like it more?
I did enjoy it even more. I like this, like the post-apocalyptic setting just got really worn down.
Yeah. This looks like really
opinion. And
interesting.
This is a very, very cynical view on how it would be if instead of like governments colonizing space, it would be corporations that would think only about money.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Would colonize, like make a colony, and that's really over the top.
And it looks. I like that there's a lot of vegetation as well. Yeah, that's cool. I'll get it on Steam one day.
So yeah, in the middle, like the story at the beginning is a bit meh. But towards the end, it started. I was really curious how it would work out, what would happen.
All right.
So yeah,
cool.
And at the end, I really enjoyed it. There are like most of those games, there are 2 endings that are vary depending on which quests you do or how you finish them.
All right.
So yeah, there's in quotes a good ending and a bad ending.
Right.
Like the typical stuff.
I hope it's better than the one I experienced recently. Like it doesn't feel forced or anything, right? I mean, Obsidian are pretty good writers.
No.
Okay, cool.
It really comes together very well.
I recently played. I wanted to talk about this like 3 fucking months ago. I played The Surge. You guys know The Surge?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah! Like you know you like it?
Well, I haven't played it, but
Oh.
it looks really cool.
It's a German developer,
play
so hell yeah.
Hell yeah, not Bethesda.
Let me just.
Is it Deck 13?
Deck 13, yeah.
Yeah.
I played it recently. My first Souls game ever, because as everyone knows, this is a Dark Soulsy game. It's fair to say for once. The first Souls game I ever played was Lords of the Fallen, which everyone shat on, but I didn't. To me, it was fine. It was perfectly fun, but I guess I didn't have the comparison to Souls. But let me open up gameplay here of Surge. I'm not gonna talk about this one much because it's old. And it's a preface to I played the Surge 2 as well. But anyway, Surge, I fucking loved it. I loved it. I went in with expectations pretty neutral because everyone's like, it's very half-half. I feel like it's got a cult following, but a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Like a lot of Souls fans kind of give it some gripes, I think. But I really loved it. I thought the world was really interesting and dark and weird and believable, and I actually really enjoyed the main character that you play as. It's not like Souls where you actually create a character. You actually are playing as a set guy. And I loved the Surge. It was awesome. I really highly recommend it. And then Surge 2 came out. I was playing this in preparation of Surge 2. And the general consensus is a lot of people who didn't like the first one really loved the second one. I'm in the minority. I liked it a lot, but I thought it was weaker than the first, mainly because of the world. And the game with the story, gets pretty crazy mumbo jumbo. Pretty damn weird. And kind of breaks the barriers of, like, the first one just kind of gives you thoughts that are intriguing, and it's like, what if there's more, stuff like that. And this one's like in your face with the stuff. Things are a lot more crazy. Sorry?
There is more, like, just yeah.
I mean, I'm not really explaining it the best I can. I don't want to say stuff about the story, but yeah, it's it gets crazy in a non-believable and less. It kind of just dilutes the whole believability and scariness of the first story, and the fact that you make a character also makes you less attached to your character, in my opinion, because they don't really talk. There's no voice acting for your character. And the ending, I'm not gonna talk about the ending, obviously, but it's one of those cases where it's like the whole game you're just playing, and then the end is like, click good or bad ending, and it's like, what? It was one of the most out of nowhere, stupidest, most forced moral choice things I've ever seen. Really dumb.
Sounds like Mass Effect 3.
I thought it was worse than that, honestly. I thought it was worse than that. But aside from that, I thought it was a really good game. The gameplay was a lot more fleshed out than the first one. You have even more weapons to use and stuff. But the world was less interesting, and yeah. But I did a full video review if anybody wants to check that out. Surge 2, if you want more of my thoughts. But I loved the first one. Really enjoyed that. So yeah, I don't know if you guys are interested in picking them up, but I highly recommend them if you enjoy Souls games. I really like those.
I haven't played Souls games in a long while. Maybe I should replay them. Yeah, they've always like been fun, but
you need to be in the mood for them.
Yeah, you definitely do.
But
you know what? I'm installing Dark Souls 1 right fucking now.
Dude, Dark Souls 1 is such an experience. And I'm actually kind of reliving something similar soon that I'll talk about. But yeah, that's fun. That's fun. I enjoy that. Man, I really just want to play another Dark Souls game. Like, because there's something about the world that is just amazing, and the enemy designs, and it's so weird and creepy. I love Dark Souls.
Yeah, the like weirdness of it.
I love Dark Souls, yeah.
What I liked about Dark Souls the most, honestly, is like the way the world connected with like no loading screens, and especially in 3, it was like, you played 3, right? You finished it. Okay.
It's the one I least remember, honestly, and I played it the most recently.
Yeah, I get that. Like, there's like
world.
probably the least I remember too. Or even, like one is probably a better example. When you go into the skeleton cave, there's like, this is like a thing that I really like with those kind of games. When you start out, there's like this skeleton cave, like right at the start, right at the main hub. And it's literally like a 30-second walk. You can go there, and those skeletons fuck you up. Like you won't survive it, and it's like, oh shit, I can come back here later, and I I really like this. And then you go to that cave, and then in that cave, I don't remember which way it was.
Are you talking about you just like you like the shortcuts? Is that what you're saying? The fact that you come back?
Not just the shortcuts, but like the way that you can like see exactly where you are. Like you go down into that cave, and there's like a hole in the wall at some point where you see like the lava world that you either go to or you just came from. I don't remember which way it was, but like you just like look down, you're like, holy shit, I'm over here, and like it totally makes sense.
Rage, have you played Dark Souls?
Yeah.
Right.
It's been a few years. Like,
the catacombs, that's like meant to be the first or second area you go into. It was like my 10th. I didn't see it. I didn't know it was there, and at some point the skeleton catacombs.
That's because the first Dark Souls was a bit more open than the other.
No, it's just I went to it so late. I think I was lost, and I checked the walkthrough, and I was like looking after the segment that I'm in, and it wasn't matching up. And then I saw, oh, there's catacombs. There's something called catacombs I missed, and I went in there and I one-shot everything, including the boss. It was like.
Well, yeah. To be fair, the catacombs boss is like a joke. Nito is okay, but the other one, there's like the one with the 3 masks.
That's the one that I insta-killed.
Yeah,
but that's the
everybody insta-kills that.
There's something so impressive when I play a game and I remember it so clearly years later. Dark Souls 1, I know the map, at least most of it. I remember everything, and it's weird because there's nothing exceptional about, like, they're just dark corridors and viney walls and stuff, but I remember the layouts and the enemies I encountered and the experiences. It's such a special game, and I can't put my finger on why. It was so good, the location.
Sorry, in the first Dark Souls, wasn't there an area that was discovered just like recently, like a year ago or something?
Really?
I've never heard of
big one.
That would be interesting.
It's been quite a while, but I remember reading it.
And yeah, I love that in Dark Souls you can just wander. I mean, Dark Souls 1 is a little bit, it's not noob friendly. Like, if you've never played a Souls game, I had to look up. At some point I was like, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm not understanding things because they don't explain like your dexterity. You need to have dexterity to hold 200 weapons and stuff like that. They don't explain any of that. So I had to just kind of look at a beginner's guide. It was the only game I've ever done that for. And it was like, look, there's some areas you can't deal with. Because I remember I was running at some point, like right at the beginning, you can go down, 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 and then you get to like there's like phantoms and stuff.
Oh yeah,
and
the swamp area.
Yeah, and I was like trying to run past them. I was like, "What is the game really this hard?" Like, I've heard it's hard, but is it this hard? But yeah, after you figure it out, it's not that bad. But
I actually did that, and I think I wasted like a couple hours in that area, and I like tried to pick up some sick items, and I actually picked up something. I don't remember what it was though.
And to some people now, it's like, well, obviously, you idiot, you're not meant to be there. But like, without the context of any game like that, you don't know that.
Well, yeah, this is why I personally, if I can say this until I'm dead, Gothic 2 is the best game ever made because it has this all over the place. Like, you can literally go anywhere, but if you go the wrong way, you will get fucked. But if you like manage to avoid everything, you outplay the game, then you'll be rewarded with like some sick shit.
Actually, and I was saying, for the first time in a long time, I'm experiencing this, and it's because I finally started Breath of the Wild. Finally, after like 2-3 years late. And yeah, it's so much fun to just I'm getting that experience where it's like I'm doing things that I'm not meant to be doing. I do that a lot in games. I kind of don't realize it. Like in Breath of the Wild, I'm pretty sure I was not meant to fight. Like, I found one of these like robots that's like old and decrepit, and it's just stuck in the ground. It shoots lasers at you. Yeah. It takes so much damage, but I found a super rare weapon. I just beat the shit out of it for like 5 minutes. I'm totally not meant to do that. Because and I did that, and I felt so good. But then I was like, maybe I shouldn't waste all my things on this. So I walked away. But yeah.
Wait, don't say anything, Rage. Don't say anything, okay?
No, I just want to ask, how far have you played?
Yeah, I've basically just got the glider, so I'm not that far. I'm not that far in yet. But yeah, I didn't expect to be able to climb anything. That's really interesting.
Literally, almost anything. The only thing that's really annoying is rain, but yeah.
Yeah, so Tommy, you were trying to ask me this the other day, but I said let's save it for the podcast, and I want to hear Rage as well. Rage, do you remember the beginning of the game much? Like,
yeah.
Like, Tommy was asking me how I got up the mountain, like how I got to the shrine at the top of the mountain.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Tommy, the way I did it was, well, at first I cut a tree down, which like fell and made a bridge, which blew my mind. I loved that you could do that.
Yes.
And then I just made this. I found out like the secret recipe for the old dude, and I got the cloak from him, so I could survive on the mountain. I tried to climb up, but I couldn't. I like went around or whatever. I mean, is there something else more interesting that you did that you want to talk about, or?
No, not really. I was just wondering which way you took.
About
like,
me, right?
I was I think for the first time, I think I did the same. I think I did experiment with the peppers though. I just threw them in, and I automatically got like.
I love the cooking, man. I love the cooking.
Yeah, it just takes a little bit too much time. But yeah, you can. I've seen other people do other things. Like you can just like stack up on all the food that's around, and then just damage boost through the entire thing. Or you can use stasis to like transport yourself all over the place by like knocking yourself around.
Yeah, that dude. There was like a treasure chest in some cold lake on the mountain.
Yes.
And I remember, I'm trying to remember what I did. I think I threw a bomb at it, trying to get it to like dislodge it out of the lake or something. But I just launched it so far into in an anime when they fly into the distance and they're like, ping.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm never seeing that chest again. But
I had a couple of things. I just saying I had a couple of things. Where like you get those chests like all the time. If there's like a body of water, you can always like check for chests or something.
Yeah.
And there's like nothing. There's nothing like crazy in it. But like I had that a couple times where like you find a chest somewhere and then you use magnesis to like lift it up, and then you get it out of there somehow. and then it lands like on an edge, and you're like on the mountainside, and it just rolls down. You're like, oh come
Yeah,
on. Dude.
there was one that was like that, but I managed to open it right before it rolled down. But it really gives me Metal Gear 5 vibes, where it's just like, here's an open world, here's these crazy funny tools, just have fun. Like, it's a toy box, sandbox. Like, it really is a true sandbox.
Yeah.
I love that you can like just, you shoot a fish and it's like going down the stream, the dead body, and so you just like make an ice block to stop the body, and like it's really, I really love that creative stuff.
Here's like one thing that well, yeah, I assume because you made it past the like starting thing, you should know this. Like, the king immediately says, hey, if you want to go to Ganon, go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Like, I won't stop you, but like,
I've heard that that's possible.
Yeah, you can literally just do that, and I did that. Like, I was like, I fucking do it, and I spent like, I think 3 hours walking. Like, I'm the kind of guy that does that kind of stuff, right? Like, when there's something that's like almost impossible, I'll fucking try it. I won't tell you what I found, but I went like,
All right, yeah,
you can like climb. There's like 8 ways into the castle or some stupid shit. And like, I managed to pretty much just like climb around in secret and like snuck my way up and got all the way to the top. I was like, hell yeah, that was awesome.
Am I the only one that thinks the voice acting is pretty bad?
Wait until later until you get the other voice actors.
It is actually in the negative, right? It's not just me.
Okay.
I don't know. I played it in German. It was okay.
Oh really? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I can't
don't know.
imagine, but I couldn't imagine. It was a bit weird to hear voice acting in Zelda in general, but the voice acting is bad. Who was it? Oh right, I think it's Zelda's voice from the Slate or whatever. You don't need to confirm or deny it, but she's bad. She's bad. She's bad.
I really don't think so. She's like on the better side. King is like, eh.
The king was eh. I think Zelda, if it is Zelda, she had English accent. It was bad. It was pretty bad.
I know it's Zelda because I talked to that voice actor in real life.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't think you did a good job.
No. I really think I have like one problem with it. I just think
is her accent real, by the way? Sorry, is her accent real?
Yeah, it's real.
Okay. It sounded off sometimes, but yeah.
I just think I just personally think she tried a little bit too hard to be like, I'm the princess and I'm vulnerable and stuff like that. And like, I won't tell you the story. There's like a lot of like
I would have assumed that Nintendo could really get like top quality voice acting for Zelda, but they really didn't.
Dude, if you ever you'll know, there's like one voice actor, you'll be like, holy shit, how did this even make it into the game? If you're there, tell me. I want to really talk about
it. Is it worse than, have you guys seen?
It's absolutely horrible.
No, yeah, but have you guys seen worst game voice acting? It's the worst shit. Do you remember the name of the game, Simi?
No.
Fuck.
Search it on YouTube.
It was so funny. It's just an anime game. And they got like some random, I don't know, like a group of just kids. It's terrible. It's the worst you'll ever hear. Worst game voice acting. And me and Simi quote it all the time. Where the fuck is it? Oh, here. Real bad voice acting. Do they say the name of the game here? We should. I want to play this on stream a bit.
Well, again,
yeah.
We are from Germany. We heard a lot of really bad.
No. This is bad.
What did you do, Nicola?
Oh my.
It's like some anime game. It's the anime game, right?
Yeah. Here I link it to you guys because there's a few videos. I'm not sure what the name of the game is here. Chaos Wars.
Yeah, I found the exact same video.
Can you move, Uru?
Wait, this guy's alright.
Karen?
Can that pause?
Yeah,
Wow.
that is
really
fucking
Oh, I
awful.
love this guy. Wow, I really can't move my body.
Wow, I really can't move my body.
It's
No,
like
but-
they just read it out. It's like they just read the script.
The absolute best one that me and Simi quote all the time. We laugh our ass off. It's and no blame to the kid. It's like a, I don't know, 6-year-old kid or something. It's the worst. It's like I'm really sorry I broke your cup. I know it was your favorite cup too. Okay, it's even worse than what I did. I can't even begin to explain it. Look up Chaos Wars bad voice acting. It's so funny.
That's why, like,
Oops.
yeah, in the early 2000s, or like the 2010s actually,
Yeah.
there was really bad voice acting.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
foreign games, but that's not necessarily even the fault of the voice actors. It was just that they had to read the scripts without knowing how this scene even plays out.
Yeah,
stuff
and
like
just
that.
I mean everything is improved. Voice acting is just in general better. Game design is
Yeah.
better. So yeah, like the original Resident Evil 1 is notorious. I don't know if you guys have heard some lines from it.
No.
It's if you look up original Resident Evil 1, there's a lot of great stuff. There's another good one. Here, take this gun. It's really good at killing things, especially living things, or something like that. It was really bad.
Oh yeah, never mind. I seen some of this. Yeah.
There's some terrible stuff, and there's one guy who's like dying, and he's just like, "Ouch!" and then dies. It's so laughable. It's really funny.
It's like, I'm not gonna lie, the one character in Breath of the Wild is like, it's not quite there, but it gets pretty close.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really
Like
excited.
it took me completely out of it. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this?
I'm excited. Yeah. But the only thing I should say, it's like, I don't know. I tried to keep my expectations neutral, but I've heard for so many years this is the best game ever, or one of the best. It's far from that, in my opinion. It's really fun, but I don't know. Maybe I'm at the beginning still, but I don't know. There's better stuff out there.
Well,
I love it. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoy it. Really, really enjoy it. But yeah.
Yeah, I
what
agree.
Rage?
no, Jim Sterling got real shit for saying it's a
I
7 out of
remember
10.
that. Yeah,
7 out of 10. That's probably what I would give it. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Like, it's good.
Yeah, he got mad shit for that.
Right, I remember because he
People were
lowered
not happy.
the overall Metacritic score or something like that. Right?
I was
Yeah,
like,
by 0.1 or something. But I think it was after that game that he decided to not give scores to games anymore.
I think scores are stupid anyway.
yeah, but
yeah.
I feel like a 7 is a bit too harsh. But it's like,
Nah,
I really
there
really
are
like the game.
genuine
But
issues with that game. Like,
I mean,
Like,
the only issue I've run.
duration-
Sorry, go on.
The weapon duration is a bit too annoying.
I like
yeah,
it.
that's a thing.
No, I like it. I like it
yeah,
a
but
lot.
that's too harsh. You will notice later on if you
Wait,
play
Rage,
more. It will-
have you played Hero Mode?
What? Yeah.
Have you played Hero Mode?
Yeah. It's
I mean, I've already kind of
Yeah.
experienced it. Like, you find a cool hidden weapon and it breaks in like 5 minutes, less even.
Yeah.
But I like that. Like, Dying Light had that. Although that's meant to be a little bit. I love Dying Light. It's like, it's a zombie apocalypse. You feel desperate, and like every weapon is like 5 hits to the head to try and chop the zombie's head off. And then by the end of the game, you like one shot and you have a weapon for like 10 hours, and I dislike that. So I kind of enjoy seeing that. I love in Breath of the Wild, like, it's weak, I'm just like, fuck it, I'll just throw it at their face, you know? I love that.
Yeah, there's a lot of like really cool shit. What I like is that they kind of gave you. It's more of a playground. It's less of, hey, here's a like story you have to follow, but
Yeah,
it's more like, we have made a complete physics engine and everything interacts with everything. Like, if you want to, you can use wind to roll a bomb into an enemy camp and then
Yeah,
blow it
yeah.
up, and all the red barrels with it, and like all that kind of like good stuff.
Dude, that's
And just,
why I think you'll really like Metal Gear 5, Tommy. I really think you will.
we'll see.
It's
When I get
that.
there.
It's that. Yeah.
And
yeah.
interestingly enough, you know, like it was a long time in the making. The Breath of the Wild, like it took forever for them to finish.
Yeah.
And you notice a lot of the like Western influence for like open world games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
fucking
do.
Ubisoft towers. Except
Most famously, the fucking towers.
The
were-
towers are somehow less interesting than the Assassin's Creed ones. Like,
Really?
I mean, yeah.
It depends on how many have you unlocked. Like, if it's only just one or two.
I've done 2 or 3. The most interesting one was the one where I told you there was like stationed robots, and that's why I had
yeah.
to kill it. That was interesting because I killed one on one side, and then the other one was too strong for me, so I just like stick to one side of the tower, and I was like, quickly go before it shoots me. That was fun, but I feel like that's because I made it fun because I was not meant to be there so early. Yeah, because that was like near the castle. I didn't realize that I was so close. But,
Oh no! Most of the towers are like
interesting.
different. Yeah.
Alright.
they're up-
Yeah, there's like they'll do a different kind of challenge every time.
Okay, good. The only negative I have for the game, like real negative, is that, it's probably just me not being a huge fan of open world. Is that eventually I kind of start being like, okay, I'm kind of, I don't know, I need something interesting to happen. Like, I don't know, it gets just a little bit repetitive, even though the game is really good at kind of sprinkling interesting things here and there, and it's like, oh, there's a boulder here, push it onto the goblin dude.
I mean, you can go and explore, and then
I'm
if
doing
you're
that
like,
all the
"Oh,
time, yeah.
kind of done with exploring," then you just like, you always have some markers on the map where you're like, have you been in the first village yet? Have you done like the first village quest? I don't even know if it's mentioned.
No.
Well, yeah. Once you get there, it's like, oh yeah, there's like different things. Go to these points, and you'll know what to do.
Right, because it's kind of my own fault. I do this with a lot of open worlds where I just don't do the main stuff. I like explore only and do all the side stuff, and then eventually I find myself that I am lacking purpose. And
yeah, if you do all the side stuff here, you're easily like, I have my save still. I've played it like relatively recently, and there's like so many small things. I'm like, I think 200 hours or so in, and I'm maybe halfway done.
Okay. Yeah, I
Like,
think I need
you'll
to
get overwhelmed.
I need to do some other stuff. I mean, it is open world done right though. Like it is really interesting.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, I'm just disappointed that it's not the best game ever. Like everyone's saying, it's like, I don't know. I was expecting this to be the best shit ever.
It is an amazing game.
It is great. It is great, and maybe I need to get into it more.
The right step for the Zelda games.
I agree with that as well. I agree with that.
Actually, I don't know.
I don't want to skip. I didn't talk about Skyward Sword. I don't think that game gets enough credit. Like, so yeah, I went into it with low expectations. I was like, I really don't feel like swinging around a Wiimote, and I think it's the least rated, the lowest rated game from the main series. Although still well rated, but just the least. But that was one of my favorite Zelda games. I fucking loved it. I loved it. And in the end, I actually ended up enjoying the Wiimote to the point where I was like, I can't imagine a Zelda game without combat like this now. Because it actually ended up being really interesting. Apart from you have to like recalibrate every few seconds. That's a bit annoying. And the game acknowledges that, because every time you get a new item, it's like, listen, if it ever uncalibrates, you press down, okay? And it tells you that constantly. But yeah, the combat was really interesting because I just spat on my mic. If
you didn't say anything, nobody would have
noticed. Yeah, I know,
but okay.
I know. I just had to share that with you. But yeah, like they introduce enemies where you have to slash like in clever ways or in specific directions, but then the enemies try to trick you. And I love that you can like just stab a pumpkin and then it's attached to your sword and you can like throw it away. And I love the aesthetic. The world was interesting. It was really funny. I liked all the characters. It was a really good game. Again, my only gripe with it is that it went on a bit too long, just like every other Zelda or the ones I can remember right now. And it makes you revisit places like 3 times, which I think is the most from any Zelda game.
Yeah, sounds pretty awful.
But I still really loved it. Like the setting was so cool, and yeah, I loved it. It's one of the best Zelda games in my opinion. Then again, I liked all of them except Wind Waker was okay. But yeah, it's probably the only one I wouldn't replay.
It's really unfortunate. I don't have a Wii remote. I should probably get one.
Absolutely,
because
dude, absolutely.
We wanted to play. Like, I wanted to like start the game at roughly the same time, so we can like just talk about it later. And I tried to play this game with a controller on an emulator. I had it on my Wii like all the way back in the day. And then, well, actually, I don't think. No, my sister had that game, but yeah, we had it at home, and I just didn't like it at all, and I never like even remotely started it. So now I was like, oh yeah, this is actually quite interesting. But I spent like hours trying to configure to get it to work with the controller, because you need to get like all the axes and then shake the controller on this button and then move it this way.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. That sounds
there was like
terrible.
one puzzle where you have to like there's an eye that follows the tip of your sword, and you
Yeah.
just have to like swing your sword or like twirl it around so the eye gets confused and
Dizzy.
spins and shit. Yeah, it gets dizzy.
Yeah.
And like it took me like an hour to try and figure out how the fuck to do that with a controller.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I really love Skyward Sword. Uh,
I just wish we had more like gyro kind of controllers. That would be awesome. Like on Wii U, you have the gyro controls for Splatoon, for example.
yeah.
I've tried that with Splatoon. I was like, this is okay, and then I have Breath of the Wild on my Wii U as well. And there I like almost exclusively aim with the gyro. It's really really nice. And
Yeah, it always comes off like it might be gimmicky, but gyro is actually really nice.
Well, yeah, that's
It's
something
really
that
accurate.
Nintendo really did right. Like with the first Splatoon and with the second one even better, and with Breath
Yeah.
of the Wild, like the gyro controls are great.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why.
They're nice.
That's why the Pro controller for Nintendo also features gyro, like the chips. And
I mean,
sensors.
PS3 started that kind of. I mean, no, Wii was
Three?
before. The Wii was. The PS3 also has you spin it around and stuff. Yeah, I did it with Little Big Planet. You can do it.
Yeah, but it was like not nearly as accurate. It was like
Yeah.
Sure,
It's-
sure.
yeah.
I mean, the
Like
really.
it was turned on when I played Zelda for the first time, I remember, and I was like, "Damn, this game has like really fucking like you know how in some games like I think it's in Skyrim too, when you like aim your bow, it like shakes to make you
Right.
less accurate." And I thought that was like a game mechanic of the game, but it was holding the controller and like shaking it around a little bit, and it took me like hours until I noticed what the fuck, that's the controller doing it.
God.
Yeah.
Well, fuck. I was about to say something. What were we just talking about?
Gyro,
My
Zelda.
brain. Oh yeah, gyro. I was just gonna say the next step when I was playing Skyward Sword. The next step is like honestly a VR Zelda game. A lot of people might roll their eyes, but I think as VR becomes more prominent and Nintendo will adopt it fully, that I think that will happen at some point. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess I don't know if they'd be able to do a Breath of the Wild style thing. I don't see why not though. It could totally work. I think it would be really cool.
I just want Nintendo to have a normal controller for once. Just once in their life.
I mean, you can always buy. They always make pro controllers, but they make you pay more for it.
Yeah, and then sometimes you have to use the other controller anyways.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, Nintendo. Calm down,
They
please.
usually kind of make it make sense. But yeah, always when I'm playing Nintendo games, I need to look at the controller and like, what? Z? Okay. Oh, C? Oh, 1 and 2 and then plus and minus. All right, I got it.
Dude, even on the SNES controller and the NES controller, X and Y are different from like any
Every
other
console.
thing.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
takes me time.
Oh my
And
god, I hate it.
Yeah,
I
and the
really do.
menus in Breath of the Wild are like reversed. You need to accept with B or what's normally B and reject with it, and you jump with Y, and it's fucking weird, but whatever.
I mean, I just rebound that. I made that like different for me.
Right. I'm just playing as whatever.
Yeah.
I'm getting used to
The
it.
only
it's fine.
thing, the only problem with the playing Breath of the Wild on an emulator for me was because obviously, dude, I will not go back and play on my Wii U ever again. Because why would I play at like 30 FPS and then it drops down to like 25, 20 when there's pools of water around? Fuck that.
That's
I'm playing
awful.
on 60. And the only problem that I have with that is that like the menuing also is 60. So sometimes you like try and like hit a thing in the menu and you hover over it like 3 or 4 times, but you can't quite get it on there because the menu goes like 3 times as fast as usual. There's like some dumb shit like that. But yeah.
Since we're on Breath of the Wild, I reviewed a game recently, like a month ago now. What? Just Guff sent me a message. The vegetation is nice, but you can't pick flowers. Is that a complaint about Breath of the Wild, I think? Guff likes to pick flowers. No, you can pick flowers.
You can
No,
pick
it's
certain
everywhere.
flowers.
Flowers.
Yeah.
Maybe he
There's
wants to
flowers
pick, he wants to
everywhere.
pick all flowers, maybe like the small ones as well.
Yeah.
So I played a game called Decay of Logos, which everyone said is Dark Souls and Breath of the Wild, and I was like, nah, I don't know. I can't say that in my review because I haven't played Breath of the Wild yet, so I can't say. But now I have, and I can definitely see the similarities. it explains even less than Breath of the Wild to you, like even less hand-holding. And it looks obviously aesthetically similar. But the combat is a lot more like Dark Souls, and it's very unforgiving. And even when you die, you become penalized for quite a while until you can get your stats back up. You need to go back and revisit your campfires to regenerate because your character gets tired over a while.
Yeah, makes sense.
But the game is really I got that feeling of Breath of the Wild and Dark Souls where it's just an open world and I'm just gonna explore and find secrets, and I really loved that, and I really love the aesthetic. The only problem was there were quite a few. It was probably the buggiest game I've played in a few years. They probably patched it since. It's been like a month.
Well, that's a statement from somebody that plays Elex.
yeah, it was very buggy. A lot of game-breaking bugs for me. But there was something really fun about it and very relaxing, even though it was really hardcore sometimes. I really liked it. If people are interested in some sort of Souls-like Breath of the Wild hybrid, this is a really good place to start.
I mean, Zelda already took a bunch of stuff from Souls. Breath of the Wild did.
Yeah. I know they're tired comparisons to make, but it really is like that. The fucking elk that you ride, though, don't even bother. It's the most unresponsive, unless they patched it again. It was so annoying to control. But yeah, if you want to hear full thoughts, check out my video review of Decay of Logos. And I actually put in a really funny and weird bug where the game just made me commit suicide multiple times, in case you're interested in seeing that.
Nice. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's a fun
when did
game.
You upload that?
That was like 2 months ago. I wanted to talk about
I completely missed that.
It kept getting delayed. Yeah, check that out. I think you'd be interested in it. So yeah, I've got so much shit to talk about. So maybe if one of you want to butt in and if you have something to talk about, or I don't know.
Well, another recent game would be Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Modern Warfare.
Oh, which one? 3 or nothing?
Okay, sorry. Call of Duty 16. Modern Warfare.
Is it the 16th?
Yes.
I think it is, yeah.
Oh my god. I think I'm pretty sure. The other day I was talking with my mom and she was like, oh, she was talking about Call of Duty, and I told her, oh yeah, they're still making them. She's like, they're still making them? What is there, like 16? And I think she got the number perfect. And I thought she was or like she was wrong, but now that you're telling me 16, I think that was the exact number she gave. So it's kind of funny. 16.
Yeah, it sounds fucking awful if you think about it, but like,
I mean,
and it's even more awful that I played most of them.
I mean, there's nothing technically wrong. Whatever, let them. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean they're all good games. It's just like
Sure,
kind of weird that it's become like a yearly tradition.
Yeah, that is weird.
In winter.
Yeah,
it's
the only
like,
one I
new
skipped
card.
was the last one.
Right.
No,
What was it called?
story.
Oh, Black Ops 4, right.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rage, what are you... Is it the same
Well,
old, or is it as different as they're saying?
I mostly play. First of all, I mostly played the campaign because I have a big issue with the game. Technically, damn, that game is fucking huge.
Yeah, I know. 100.
Like
gigs?
if you look at like the recommended system specs are you need 175 gigabytes
Jeez. Yeah.
of storage.
Is it right now you need to have that as well?
I had to download 130, like actually download 130 gigabytes.
Right, but the game actually is currently taking
No,
up...
it's probably just as big because let me check.
No, I'm just asking you, is the game currently taking up that much space? Because they said at some
Yeah,
point...
because I had to download 130, and after it got unzipped, it's got around 170, I would assume.
Right, because what you're assuming, I'm asking because at some point the dev said that's reserved space for their future content patches. Which
Well,
is,
I had to download 130, and to be honest, even if it's just 130,
it's
that's
still...
fucking...
Yeah, I agree. That's way too
Just
much.
130. I remember
right
GTA
now,
5.
the folder is taking up 111 gigabytes.
Right now. So, yeah, it's not all of that. I mean...
And to be... Well, first of all, yeah, I had to install it on my HDD. I have a Western Digital Black, which is the highest rotation speed you can get from a Western Digital. And because I just had no space on my SSD for that kind of game.
I mean,
And to be honest, for the amount, like, I understand why they are making these games so huge to, like, better up the performance, because
Yeah.
then you need less CPU to.
and I was gonna say, to be fair to them, we kind of games always get
No,
bigger. We need to take the next step at some point, I guess.
No, we don't have to, because for the 111 gigabytes big, it doesn't look that amazing. I have seen games that look better and are not as big.
Mm.
And like GTA was like 80, GTA 5, and I mean,
Probably looks
Yeah,
as good
yeah,
as
pretty
that.
similar.
Yeah.
To artificially better out your performance because you are just shit at programming. Like, there is no excuse for that.
Mm.
I mean, it's probably not that easy. Come on, dude.
Yeah, but he's just comparing it to
I
other games.
understand.
He's comparing it
Yeah,
to other
but
games.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm
And
just saying.
I have
yeah.
issues that because of that, like, my game crashes. But that I know that's because of my hardware. But the game crashes regularly for me.
Right. Oh, anyway, the
So I
game
didn't
is
play
the
much.
game. Forget
Well,
the
yeah.
technicalities again.
The multiplayer's fine. Like,
It's
it
the same
feels like
shit?
the older Call of Duties. It is fine. Yeah, it is good. The big warfare mode, like, they made a clone of Battlefield, where you have like 64 players on a giant map. But the biggest issue is there are only like 2 or 3 vehicles, and they're mostly shit. So you just have to run around on foot because everyone has a fucking rocket launcher, and whenever you get in a helicopter or something, you just die. Yeah. So that mode, they tried to get like something similar to the Battlefield mode, but
Alright.
it is a bit shit. But the core gameplay, like the normal stuff, like the death matches and the domination and stuff, that's fine.
Okay, and the story is.
Yeah, the story is something that I have my issues with, and a lot of other people do as well. First of all, before the game came out, the developers, Infinity Ward is known, like the old Modern Warfare games are known for being like really patriotic, and many
Yeah.
people criticize them for that. And now this time they were like, yeah, there will be
it'll be
morally
grey.
not acceptable situations. It will be grey. You will not know if you're a good guy or a bad guy. No,
It's the same shit.
it is not exactly like, there is some stuff, but it's like really mild.
Okay,
But
so
they make you do some questionable shit.
right.
But how they diffuse that is by making, like, Russians were always like the bad guys
Yeah.
in the Modern Warfare series.
Every
But,
time.
like,
No,
if
before
you
that
are-
it was Arabs, and I'm both, so that's a lot of fun.
Well, I guess.
But
Yeah.
they were to some extent justified, because you have that controversial attack at an airport, a
yeah.
Russian airport, where they leave, like, they make it like the terrorists make it seem that the Americans did it,
Yeah.
and that's how the war starts. This time, and before I explain what exactly happens, like, if you go and check on Metacritic right now,
Mm-hmm.
there's a huge disparity between the reviewer scores and the user scores, because everyone is going to Metacritic and rating it badly, because in this in the campaign,
Damn.
the Russians are just shown as irrational monsters that just commit heinous war crimes
Right.
for no reason. Like, they gas people, like civilians with toxic gas. They just execute.
That's all they know, dude.
I think Rage got
Something-
executed now. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm back.
And the
Alright.
Russians are coming, getting it back.
Well, yeah. Once again,
We heard you. We heard you.
yeah. Like,
So yeah, it sounds like it's
no, like, yeah, they are making them seem like real, not inhuman.
yeah.
Like,
So
real
even more
inhuman.
evil,
They are
more
trying
evil
to
than
e-
previous games.
Yeah, but they're trying to show just normal Russian soldiers as people who are just kill children and women without reason, like without remorse or
It's so
anything.
dumb.
If they are not human, then that's like really, really, really bad. Worse than the previous games.
I mean,
definitely.
I'm curious to try and see how bad it really is. But
I understand why some people don't see it, but I, as a
Right.
Russian, I can see that, and actually, usually I don't care for that stuff. You know that.
yeah, because
And even I felt offended.
right, because yeah, Rage really, and even like I mean, yeah, we've played the other COD games. We really enjoy the story modes, and yeah, Russians always the bad guys. But I kind of just rolled my eyes, like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, well, like there are scenes where I'm thinking, what
Right.
are they smoking? Are there some like Russian phobes in the fucking writers team for Infinity War? Really
that bad?
is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they don't make it.
That's how they like diffuse the bad things
The-
you do, because the
Right.
Russians just do more heinous things without any reason.
Are they not like part of a certain group or something, or is it just like these are just the Russian
It's the
army?
Russian army.
Just that's it, just the Russian army.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Interesting.
Really terrible.
Uh.
Like, sure, they're showing off war crimes, but
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
All right. Well, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of people went to Metacritic and
So
rated it.
the game itself is okay. Just the story is the
Well,
problem.
there are some bugs with matchmaking and with
Okay,
the
whatever.
response or sometimes
Small
shit,
stuff, though.
like the usual Call of Duty stuff.
What
But yeah, the
matchmaking?
game itself is fine.
Well, I guess you can call it matchmaking, but
Like,
it's
the-
never been
after-
like balanced.
After year, they finally like the guns feel nice. Still, there's less recoil than it should be, just in every Call of Duty game. But
Wasn't
this
that like
gun-
always the case that the
Yeah,
guns feel
yeah,
really
but,
good?
but the Call of Duty, the guns sound nice. Like, I remember the earlier Modern Warfare's, the guns sounded shit. Like pea shooters.
Really? I quite
Yeah,
like.
no, this,
I
like,
like
in comparison to other games, definitely.
Right. Just clarification. Guff said that he was referring to Outer Worlds. With
Oh.
the, with
Or-
the
okay.
flowers.
Ah, okay.
That makes more sense. He's like, what? I never played Breath of the Wild. I don't know if he actually has or not, but yeah, I mean,
Gav just told me one of the Modern Warfare games had American bad guys. Which one was it?
Wait,
yeah,
what?
Modern Warfare 2. Spoilers alert.
Oh, yeah,
Shepard.
right.
Oh no, spoilers.
Shepard.
Yeah, right.
But he was,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay, but that's right, like right at the end, and he.
I mean, it still counts. Whatever. It's
Yeah,
fine. It's
yeah,
fair enough.
that's true, that's true.
But Modern Warfare 2 is also the one I think where, oh god, it made me cringe so hard. And I was like 14 or something, and I could read through the terrible writing. It was, I think that was the one where America gets attacked, and it was so tragic. And like
Yes,
you're outside
yes.
like I think the Washington something whatever, and like you see the flag. And it's like
You're-
playing sad
yeah.
music, and everything's burning. And sure, that
Yeah,
sucks,
it was-
but they never do that for any other COD moment. And it was so like, no.
It's when Russia invade.
Yeah, that was a cool level though. It was like the EMP and everything. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was like.
The pan shot where you go out of the fucking bunker right in front of the White House.
Yeah, that's what I'm
and
thinking of. That's
everything's
exactly
burning.
that's exactly what I'm talking about. And there's a flag,
Yeah.
and it plays sad music. So, sorry, Tommy. Yeah.
It's kind of like as stupid as that one game that came out relatively recently. I forgot the name. You're the president and you're in like a fucking mech and you fly around and kill shit.
Oh,
and
that was a
do really
remake
dumb combos.
of an old game. That's by the
What's that?
devs. That was From Software that made that.
Was it?
Yeah, it's a really old game of theirs. From Software mech game.
But it was like kind of like that where they like
Metal Wolf
it was
Chaos.
just- yeah, Metal Wolf. The name alone, dude.
Yeah, I can't. Can you? That's the same people that made Souls.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just like I haven't paid too much attention to that game because it looks kind of jank. But I saw like a lot of the shit that happens in there, and I'm like,
Yeah,
yep.
it looks crazy. It
It's
actually,
like Call of Duty.
I love patriotic Japanese stuff. Like Metal Gear has a lot of that. And also Earth Defense Force has a lot of that. I'm just pretty good segue, huh? Except I just ruined it by doing
Yeah.
that. I played a new Earth Defense Force called Iron Rain. I think it's been out on PS4 for a while. But yeah, I just love when Japanese people take Western people in their games and make them super patriotic. Like Earth Defense Force is all about like EDF. Although they are talking about like protecting Mother Earth. They talk about Earth, but I love that shit.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Revengeance, the best American politician.
Yeah. Tommy, you should play Revengeance as well. You should. It's a good one.
Nanomachines, son.
Wait, which one? Which one is that
It's
one?
the spin-off where you play as someone else, and it's like it's like Katana. It's made by Platinum. You know Platinum devs?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I
You
know
like
which
cut
one it is.
shit up and you go in slow.
yeah.
It's great, but it's not Metal Gear.
Kind of like Skyward Sword, where they like
Yeah,
change
yeah.
the direction which you attack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I see.
But it's even more brutal. Like you cut people up to
Oh, they're not people.
unrecognizable
There's
chunks. Yeah.
Um,
It's crazy though, and I love the soundtrack. It's just platinum glory. It's awesome. But yeah, Earth Defense Force. I didn't really get. I wanted to review it, but the devs only sent me one key, and you can't play EDF alone, man. Like it's not one of those games. But I mean, I just want to talk a little bit about what I did play. It was pretty fucking janky for PC. It was like forced 720p internal resolution, so even though you put on 1080p, it looks slightly blurry. There was really bad mouse acceleration, so I had to play with a controller, and it felt just not as fun as the other ones that I've played. I've played 3 others, and yeah, I don't know, it didn't grip me as much. Then again, it might be because I was playing it alone, so I kind of tapped out a little bit early. But yeah, EDF Iron Rain, if you want to check it out. The reviews are like mostly positive, but a lot of the negatives are about technical stuff, which I think they fixed now. But oh, by the way, actually, I wanted to talk a little bit about fixing technical issues. I don't know if you guys saw recently that with the Steam's new library update, like the game sometimes Steam sometimes prompts you like, hey, you've played 6,000 hours of this game, do you want to review it? Which I think is really cool. It's really helpful for just like the game industry. I think, like, I don't know, people give Steam a lot of shit. Like a lot of the times they give like copy paste I guess just knee-jerk reactions to Steam as if they're just a typical corporation like Activision and EA, but I really think people need to give them more credit because they do a lot of stuff that's not needed at all, that's just benefits the community. Like even now they released you can play online, you can play local games online for free, like you can do, like you stream it to your friend. That's pretty cool. But anyway, I was just gonna say, I think that would be a pretty cool feature. I don't know why I wanted to throw this in here, but if maybe you give a negative review for a certain game and the Steam checks your keywords, and then maybe if a patch addresses that, maybe Steam can be like, hey, you know, Secret Neighbor addressed the doors thing that you were complaining about. Maybe you want to change your review. I think that'd be pretty cool. So Steam, I know you're listening. Gabe, implement that. That'd be pretty cool.
Gabe is the one that's listening.
Yeah, it is.
So the one of the viewers.
Yeah. Gabe, you guys don't. I didn't tell you this. Gabe is like a consistent viewer.
Damn.
Yeah. Me and him go way
Gabe, I
back.
love you. You're my favorite Steam maker.
Oh, were you the hack? Did you help the German hacker get into this Revolve servers?
No, we're friends. We're buddies, man. And another thing, since we're on Valve, I played. You guys know Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades. AKA H3 VR, solo dev VR game, which is like super gun simulation. It's beautiful. So like
By the way, for anybody that's playing that game, that guy has a YouTube channel and he like shows everything off. If he does a patch, he shows every single gun and explains why it is like that, and you can learn a lot of shit.
He updates the game like every week. Dude, I love going into that game and there's like 20 new weapons for me to try, and I'm just sitting there for like 10 minutes like, what? Oh, the bullet goes in here? And then like and there's some weird ass shit I've never seen before. I've tried a gun which like it's like a very long, and I just spat again. I'm so excited. It's a very long and thin looks like almost like a gum, like a chewing gum thing, but long, and you insert it into the gun and it like shoots needles or something, or like pellets. I don't know. It kind of reminded me of like the Metro gun. It was very weird, but yeah, I love that you see all sorts of cool, weird guns in here that you don't see anywhere else. Anyway, I think I told you guys about this on the podcast ago, but he made a TF2 update where he put all the TF2 guns in the game and makes them operable. Like real guns, or like how the characters do, like the medic syringe gun. You actually need to like pull a little thing in the back, and it like turns the chamber, and it like preps the needles to be shot. And I really loved that. I just wanted to say that's so cool that you can do that. And you can even rocket jump, and you can use all the melee weapons. I think just the medic gun, the healing, is not active yet, but like just give this guy time and he'll make it work. And yeah, I just thought that was really cool. Like that really excited me to use the TF2 guns in VR, like they're real guns. That was really cool. But yeah, that's all my Valve news. Yeah. Does anyone else have anything else to talk about, or should I just continue on my 20 game?
What else did I play?
Not on Valve. I have like, you go ahead.
Yeah, plugging the Xbox Game Pass again. They added a lot of like roguelites and like indie games. I tried out different ones. I tried Enter the Gungeon.
Yeah, that looks really fun
so far. Everything
That
is a
is
bullet or a gun.
Really fun.
There is a bullet that shoots guns.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, very fun. What else did I try? Slay the Spire, but
yeah, I finally played that. By the way, this was written this was written down here as like, hey guys, I finally played it, but that was again like 3 months ago. Yeah, me and Simi fucking love that game, dude.
What else did I play? I tried out Dead Cells. Was okay.
I love Dead Cells.
Dead Cells is awesome.
Yeah.
I played. Have you guys heard of Battle Chef Brigade?
I've seen you play it, but that's it.
I love it. It's so fun. It's a game. So think of there's 2 parts of the game. There's one where you go out and it's a hack and slash, like anime where you're like jumping around slicing monsters and stuff. But you want to try and look for specific ingredients. Like, oh, this is a plant. It might have earth-based ingredients, whatever. And then you go back to the kitchen and you try and like play this kind of like Bejeweled-ish game where you like mix things up, but you can like accidentally introduce poison into your dish, or maybe the chef that's judging your dish wants like fire-based ingredients. It's really fun. It's a lot more fun than I thought it would be, and the story is interesting. Actually, gets quite interesting, more than I thought it would be. But it's just fun. Like both sides of the game are really fun. I really enjoy the cooking aspect, where you just, I don't know, you just try and make your thing work, and it's just beautiful. It's a really great game. So like it's more original than just Bejeweled. They do a lot of cool stuff, and you can like put sauces which maybe change the flavor of a fire ingredient. You can maybe make it a water ingredient, or you can get like different pans which match different symbols in different ways, or maybe an oven which slowly cooks and improves your dish. And you're basically timed, and you're in a competition every day, and it's like, okay, I have to make 2 dishes in 90 seconds, and you just go out. Maybe you want to go for the biggest monster, the dragon, which will take a long time to kill, but its ingredients are sought after or whatever. Yeah, I really love that game. Really, really fun game. I'm looking forward to finishing. I'm almost done. Yeah, you had any more indies, Rage?
Are we allowed to talk about the...
I'm not sure, so I wouldn't.
GT, okay.
Are we? Yeah, I wouldn't. I need to check.
Not sure.
I'm not sure.
I just wanted to say I really enjoyed that one.
Let me check the email. Shall I? Really quick. If you have something else to talk about in the time now would be.
What else did we play? Did you play anything, Tommy?
I mean, I don't know if I mentioned it before or not. It's a while ago that I've touched it, but I really want to go at it again. I started speedrunning Super Mario 64, and that's been like a buttload of fun. I did not expect it to be as much fun as it was. You play the same game over and over and over again. You just try and become better, and then you like I started just spending like 2 days learning like the basic route and all of the tricks that I need to do, and then you like I just my first speedrun I'm running 70 stars, so like the majority of the game but not all of it. It leaves all the like really cancer shit out. And my first run was like, I think 1 hour and 50 minutes or so. World record, by the way, is like 40 minutes. So I took like more than twice as. But I steadily improved, and over even like a week or two, I went down to like, I think I'm at like 110 or 120 now. I need to like look at it again.
Yeah,
Been a while
it's.
since I've run it. but-
I've had small snippets of that when I played like Sonic games or Marble It Up, and you actually try to improve your score, and you get better and better and better, and maybe you race a ghost from a leaderboard.
Yeah,
and-
you
and-
make your own things. You make your own strats up too.
Yeah,
For some sort of stuff. Like I had one that I'm like kind of proud of. It seems really stupid, but there's like a star. I don't know how well you guys remember that game, but there's like a star where you have to like climb into a labyrinth of ice. Like it's one of the ice levels, and you just have to find the right entrance to the ice. It's like usually you're supposed to take like 2 or 3 minutes to figure it out, but if you like hold the one direction at the start, the music like starts up and it always starts up the same way. And then there's like an audio cue that I found where like if I jump at that exact moment, I can make it up there and like clear the star in like 6 or 7 seconds or something stupid like that. It's like crazy. Yeah, there's like a lot of cool shit, and every time where you're like, oh my god, I will never do this, and then you like try it for an hour and you kind of get it down, and then eventually you're like, oh man, I'm like a little bit behind in the run, let's do the risky strat, and then you do the risky strat, it works out, it feels so good.
Yeah, like in Sonic, what was it? Sonic Generations, I did a lot of speedrunning, but that game is kind of built for that, where the shortcuts that you find are actually meant to be found. But there's some stuff where
Yeah.
I played a level like 30 times, and then I had no idea that there was a certain route somewhere. And yeah, I love that stuff.
Yeah, if you play older games, then that's more often than not about glitches.
They're
and
not,
stuff.
yeah.
Like there's like a reset point, at least for me, because I'm still pretty shit at the game. In Super Mario, you have like a 1 minute intro. It's like 50 seconds long. I know because I watched it like 100 times.
Yeah.
And then at the start, there's like one trick that can save like I think it's like 10 seconds, where you have to like jump on the very corner of the bridge, not trigger like a tutorial kind of text box. If I don't get that, then I'm like, oh, it's not good. Okay, let's just keep going. And then there's like right after the first star that you get, you have to like grab a bomb, fucking jump with it, almost let it explode. It's like almost a frame perfect trick. You have like 2 frames you can do it in. And then you kind of get pushed through a wall. And if you don't get that, then you might as well just reset, because that just lost you like a minute in total.
Right.
So you have to like have this kind of stuff down, and then sometimes you're like, oh man. Like at one point, one day, I think it was the day where I was like, oh, I can't be asked to do this for a little bit. I was like, let's just play some. And then for 30 minutes, I couldn't get past that stage because I just was too fucking retarded to do it.
Nice.
But yeah.
By the way, we can talk about it, Rage, and it's a game called GTFO. We can.
Oh, we can.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we
Talk about it.
played an alpha. It was a public alpha that anybody could sign up for, and they even invited people to stream it and stuff. So it's a game where you infiltrate a map with weird infected people as a team of 4. You each have your own gadgets and stuff that you choose beforehand. It's pretty hardcore because you're meant to not trigger them. You want to try be as silent as you can, and if things do go wrong, you take damage quite quickly. And yeah, you just kind of like wander around a dark facility. You look for a key, and then you open a door with that key, and that's where we died twice, and we didn't continue after that because it was just this one small alpha test. Yeah, what you enjoyed it,
But
Rage?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And we can play more, or maybe we can get a group when it comes out.
Yeah.
'Cause, the concept itself is like, there may have been done before, but I never played something like it. Where
Yeah,
you
stuff
have
has
to
been
play
done like this,
together, like heavily co-op. Everyone has a different gadget. You have like to conserve ammo. You have to conserve your
Yeah. Like
life.
it reminded me a lot of Valve's Alien Swarm.
Yeah, you have to rely on the others, and if they fuck up, you will get fucked up as well.
Yeah, I really like Alien Swarm for that reason, with that one forgotten game. But yeah, I do like here that you do try to have stealth Or I mean, you want to be stealth because you have like limited stuff to use. Although I kind of went into the game expecting it to be loud, so I was a bit disappointed at that because I was like, yeah, I'm ready to like shoot shit, like Killing Floor and whatever.
Oh, yeah, it was advertised like a horror co-op game, so I was ready to poop my pants, and it was a surprising lack of that as well.
I mean, horror can never truly be co-op. Can never truly be horror. I would say, true horror.
Maybe. Yeah, if I was there alone, poop my pants. But they have to step it up if there's 4 players to scare that are together.
Well, 4, it's like a little bit too much. What I can see work would be like a dual 2 people.
Yeah,
co-op.
horror. It doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna poop your pants. It's just it's a scary situation. It's like horrific. Like the people.
That would be war as well.
Sure, but I'm just saying a fictional like zombies or infected people.
Yeah,
Horror. You know,
yeah.
there's like different horror. There's horror thriller, or like Alan Wake is horror, but then there's also Amnesia is horror, and they're different.
Yeah.
Yeah, a Killing Floor could probably be considered, maybe not because you're kind of unstoppable.
Okay, then we will take this horror segue.
Uh-huh.
All 3 of us can talk about Vermintide.
Yeah, is Vermintide horror?
Is it?
Wow, scary rat men that are by the hundreds that will eat you.
I guess,
alive,
yeah.
literally.
I mean, is there anything to say? That game is old now, and yeah, it's good. I love it.
Wow, you just played it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's because I talked about the first one before. I had a review for it and everything. Yeah, it's good. I like it a lot.
Well, do you like it better than the first one?
It's the same. Probably if I go back to the first now, I'll realize that it was worse. But to me, it's the same. I do like that you have some extra classes for each character. Yeah, I love it. But I eventually got sick of doing the same levels. Like I'm ready to just do like the DLCs and then uninstall it for a while. Yeah.
I have something at least Rage can talk about. Fuck, I forgot the name of it. I can't Google it right now either. Yeah,
describe it.
That like there was a game that they announced in the from digital, Devolver Digital. There was like the small demo they brought out.
Oh,
Carrion.
Yeah.
Carrion, thank you.
Yeah. Have you played the sneak peek?
Yeah, I've played the sneak peek, and honestly, I think everybody should. It's really fantastic.
How is it spelled? Carry on?
Carrion.
Carry on.
2 hours, yeah.
Right.
But I think the sneak peek is gone. It was only for... Yeah, it was only for Halloween.
Damn.
I'm just waiting to.
that's
I'm gonna play the full thing. Like, I don't need to play this.
Oh yeah, I'll try.
It is still like it will take quite a while. Like
Yeah,
it will release
always.
Yeah, they
sometime
said that.
next year. I would assume like in a year actually for maybe Halloween they will bring it out.
So,
But
Yeah,
yeah,
but
it was like a technical alpha. Like it was very polished. There were no like bugs
So,
or anything.
to
but they
explain-
just
It was
showed
pretty
off.
polished.
just to explain it, you play as a monster in a facility and you just kill everybody there, and you can see like you shoot tendrils to pull yourself to
it's
walls.
kind of it like to just say it your monster is like kind of an
No,
understatement.
I'm showing footage of it right now.
You
People-
sound
It
like
is like reverse.
really weird flesh creature, and you
Yeah.
eat things like you eat humans, and they actually get added to your body. So depending on the way you eat the enemies, your body like extends, so you can become like a rather lengthy kind of thing, or you can just become a big blob of flesh.
Yeah,
I'm-
and,
yeah.
like, you have to go through vents and try like certain enemies are prepared for you.
Right.
And
Yeah.
they have shields and everything, and they have to outsmart them. And
Ah, it
it's
looks
like
awesome, I love
they advertise the game as a like reverse horror game
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you are the monster.
I really
and
don't
you
think it's reverse horror. I really thought it was really fucking spooky, and it was more.
You were spooked.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It was like I was actually like, holy shit, this is actually like I was like kind of imagining being the kind of people. in
Right,
that
you were
situation.
okay. That's why you were spooked of
yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
Like you were imagining
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. It was actually like absolute insanity.
Of course, yeah.
And just seeing the people like, oh yeah, they're just doing the normal thing, and then suddenly out of the fucking vent,
Of
there's like a
course,
big
yeah.
hunk of flesh, and it grabs you with its tendrils, and it's really
And then
disgusting.
then it eats you alive. Yeah.
Yeah, and it also like it controlled really well. I was like, looks like fucking super stupid to control, but it just like
Yeah, we both played it
Very
with
nice
more
and
than
smooth.
mouse. I would really
Yeah, I play with
try
mouse.
it out with a controller, how they would solve that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume
yeah.
it controls pretty much the same, but yeah, very, very smooth, and it just looked great.
Yeah, looks really awesome. I'm
Really
looking forward.
really excited for that game. I'll get it when it's there.
Oh, a game, because this is gonna get a lot of attention. I think I already had. It's Devolver published. I want to talk about a game that I've never heard of before, but I tried recently. Super unique platformer game called Hacky Zack. So it's a play on words on what's that thing that people do? Hacky sack? Is it where you like
Hacky
kick
sack,
some
yeah.
bag around? So it's a platformer where you don't get yourself to the goal. You have to get a ball to the goal. But it gets really hard really quickly. So like it's really intense. Like you have to wall jump really quickly and don't let your ball fall. There's certain areas where your ball can enter but not you, and you hit switches to let your ball through, and you basically just need to carry it to the end of the level. And later on it gets crazy. Like you have a ball that when you hit, it controls another ball, but you're confined in a room, as the viewers just saw. It gets very crazy. There's portals and stuff, and it was really interesting and very hard later on, especially if you want to try and get the collectibles. But I thought that was a super cool idea for a platformer that I've never seen. They like every single level really is really engaging. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. It's a really good game, really hard.
Sounds good.
Some other stuff we've been playing. We've been playing Secret Neighbor. Both of you haven't. You guys said it wasn't your type of game. Secret Neighbor is set in the universe of Hello Neighbor. I did two videos on this actually so far. They're funny ones. They're not reviews. If anybody wants to check them out, it's kind of like in the vein of Dead by Daylight or Deceit. Not quite the same, but you get that impression where it's basically one person is secretly an adult neighbor and they seek out all the children who are trying to find keys around the area and break into a door. Can I actually see gameplay, please? There you go. But yeah, the group I've been playing with, we've been having a lot of fun with it. We haven't played in ages now because we're always missing someone, but it gets really crazy and intense sometimes. This game, there's less focus on figuring out who the neighbor is, because you kind of figure it out quickly, and unlike Deceit, you can't kill the killer permanently, so you don't have to necessarily lie so much. It's just kind of fucking the kids over and trying to stop them, like hiding keys maybe so that they don't take them themselves, or you can also eliminate the kids. If they're alone, you just grab them and they eventually vanish. And each kid has their own
eliminate the kids.
And each kid has their own ability. Like one of them can speed boost, one of them can open the secret entrances that the neighbor can normally only enter himself. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We really love it, and I just want to fucking play more, but nobody's online. Yeah, I really love that game. So there's that. Something else that I'll talk about next episode. I can't believe I still have Heave Ho on this list. Since we're on Devolver, and since we're on Interesting, we were talking about Carry On. Heave Ho is a game that I played. One of my favorite co-op games ever, I think, but I always struggle to get someone to play it with me. But maybe now with the Steam local to online thing, I can play with people.
Yeah.
I did, I think, a really funny video with Simi, if anybody wants to check that out.
I love that video.
Yeah, thank you, dude. It's a game where you basically... Let me see. Oh, the Steam page has someone else's Let's Play or something? Okay. Oh, many Let's Plays. So it's a game where you're just this like small body, and you've got two arms. You control them with the left stick, ideally played with the controller, and you can just grip with each hand. That kind of concept has been done before, but this game really emphasizes co-op, where you kind of swing in physics ways and throw each other. And for me, the most fun comes from getting the secret collectibles. Like there's coins hidden around, and even in the video it happened where me and Simi struggled for ages to take a coin somewhere safe, and then she tosses it at the last second off a cliff, and we like lose it and all our progress is gone. And the game does interesting stuff where, like, if a player, because this is the kind of game where you maybe play with friends who don't normally play games, so they allow you to, like, when you get to a finish line, you can actually pull a little switch and it'll like assist the other person by making an extra pole or a balloon, which doesn't make it too easy but helps them out. And sometimes occasionally a bird will come and shit on you. And if you die and you fall off the side, like your blood splurts at really high pressure onto other people and like pushes them and stuff. The game is just really silly and I love it. I love this game. I really love this
silly
game.
blood spurting game.
Yeah. So heave ho, check out MrWoodenSheep's video. Really love that game. Yeah. So
It's really cool.
yeah, it is really cool. We can talk a little bit about Jackbox. Got that, and we've all played it. Maybe you guys can talk a little bit. I mean, what is there to say, really? I guess just if you're a fan of
really good gameplay. The graphics are great. I get really immersed. It's a horror scenario.
If it's reverse horror, yeah. If you've played Jackbox 6 came out. I think it's a really good installment. I mean, I don't know if we should really talk about this. Whatever. I've got tons of Jackbox 6 videos already. I'm gonna be making even more if you guys want to check those out. There's some really funny stuff there.
Yeah. I always feel like there's like one problem that I have with Jackbox, but that's just like a personal thing. Sometimes with like I guess it's a mostly German thing. Jackbox is only available in English and they never like translate it or anything. Which I can kind of understand. Like,
yeah, it would be a lot of effort, and a lot of things are wordplay and.
Yeah, like you want to try and like play with the locals. With like my like I tried to play with my mom and my sister at one point, and like my mom's not great in English. My sister is, but like oftentimes we would be like stuck being like, oh yeah, I don't know what the fuck that means. Like that kind of really sucks. And
yeah,
like,
but I really wouldn't expect the devs to do something about it. It's a lot.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit. I mean, yeah, it's quote unquote only one translate, but I feel like maybe if you open it up to like a new audience, that would be great. It's a fantastic game if you just have like a party and everybody obviously speaks really good English. Like you need pretty decent English to play this.
Yeah.
And yeah, then it's like it's a good game. But if you like if you don't have like English speaking people, it really sucks. I wish I could play it more with others, but it always gets stuck on this, so we have to like play it online with people from like all over the place.
I mean, I have Overwatch 2 here written, but I don't think there's much to say. It's just very weird that it's a new game, but it's not.
I will stand by my statement that that's just a quick cash grab.
But how can it?
They want to get the 60 euros from the millions of players.
Well, first of all, even the first Overwatch was 40 euros at full price, not 60. So I would assume this one would be the same.
Let me recheck that.
Sure. And Overwatch 2. I mean, to be fair, I mean if they're making a shit ton of new content, you're gonna have. The Overwatch has been supported for like 4 or 5 years now for free.
It's not a. Yeah, but they didn't have to make a new game. You can even try. Like, they want that money so badly, they will let you transfer your skins from the first game to the second game. And that's not because they care about your skins. They care about you buying the new game.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
I can see that being part of the reason, but I don't see why you take away all. I mean, it could also be just they don't want to split the player base because they see how harmful it is to every other game. Like Call of Duty, you know, you dump it in the next year. Plants vs Zombies, we had to do that now, except Garden Warfare 1 and 2 allowed you to transfer your cosmetics, which was amazing. First time I've seen that. I don't know. Oh
yeah, that's awesome. And it's part of the reason why people that play League and Dota are like still so so divided. Because if you like, I would probably never like full on switch to Dota, even though I don't play League much anymore. I spent a couple $100 on League, and I like unlocked all my shit, and yeah, I'm invested in that game, and I don't want to stop. And
no,
it's like that for Overwatch 1 and stuff.
I think that's good. I don't know why anyone could see that as a criticism. Maybe there's also selfish reasons to allowing you to transfer, but it's only good for the consumer. Like
I'm saying it's good.
Yeah, but they didn't have to.
Necessarily.
They didn't have to bring out a new game.
Sure, I'll agree with that. I think because it was leaked. We kind of knew about this for ages. The whole time I was like, Overwatch 2, why would they do that? Why would they like ruin their first game? If they make an expansion, that's different. But I think it just comes off weird because they advertise it as Overwatch 2, even though it's literally, they said they're gonna merge the clients, so it's basically an expansion. I think that if they at least called it Overwatch 2.0, that would at least convey the idea of right?
It's easier to get 40 euros for Overwatch 2 than for
Sure,
Overwatch
sure.
2. So
Yeah.
I will feel cynical about this because I feel like Blizzard management is now more Activision management. than Blizzard.
I
Because
totally agree with that,
they have
but
eroded the Blizzard management. They kicked out a lot of
I
original
agree
Blizzard
with that.
managers.
I agree with that, but I just think people see that in every decision, whereas it might not be true. Like I don't see that this. I think Overwatch 2. Another reason why they're advertising is, I mean, the game's been out for 5 years, so yeah, obviously player base is declining a little bit steadily, and with every event it comes back. But I guess if they advertise as Overwatch 2, it's like, whoa, okay, I'll get that game. And I've seen a lot of comments saying that. Like before the announcement, people were like, if they announce Overwatch 2, I'll play it because I like the first one, but I'm over it now. And that's basically what Call of Duty was as well, because I mean it's the same game every year, but if you advertise it as a new thing and it's got, I guess, a bunch of new maps and whatever, then people are like, oh yeah, it's worth the money. I think if Overwatch 2 comes out, it's 30 or 40 euros for the PvE stuff only, which they said that's what it would be, then I don't care. It honestly looked kind of boring to me, the PvE stuff, so even though I've been wanting a story mode, but this isn't what I've been asking for. But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of hard for them to do because the whole game is built around multiplayer, so the way it plays is very specific. But yeah, I mean, they're gonna bring all of the new stuff to Overwatch 1 as well. Honestly, I think the thing that harms it the most is just the naming convention. If they just called it Overwatch Heroes, whatever bullshit they want to call it, it would be way less weird and confusing.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we have what they also announced was Hearthstone. What was it? Battlefield, Battle Royale, something like that. It isn't quite Battle Royale. It was like Teamfight Tactics, or what the other thing was called. Auto chess.
Auto chess, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I was
yeah.
like, it's a bit late for that now, aren't you?
Whatever. If it's fun, who cares? But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really want to dwell on the Blizz stuff. Everyone's been talking about it, and there's nothing that interesting.
Yeah.
Honestly, the leaks really harmed it. Like I think I would have been like, whoa, Overwatch 2, cool. But I knew about it for like a month before, so.
Same with
Diablo 4 as well.
Yep, and WoW as well.
Yeah.
WoW stuff has been leaked like many months before.
I kind of feel bad for the devs. I remember.
Even the new character for HOTS wasn't new.
Yeah,
Was already
I feel
known.
bad for the. I think it was Jeff Kaplan said like it's demoralizing for the team. Leaks just kind of like remove the excitement. Yeah, and I totally see that. It's just kind of just wait. Let them announce it when they want to.
My issue is I still get I bet the actual developer teams are still like they're very passionate about it and they are not doing it just for the money, but I can see that. But for me, like there is too much Activision and Blizzard now.
I agree with you, but I just don't see it in this case. There's maybe hints of it. Like I do agree that announcing it like this is to gain money, but I also don't blame them because their player base is declining anyway, and every other game series does this at some point. It's been like 5 years now, 4 or 5 years, so it kind of makes sense. And I'm happy that they're not splitting and killing off the first game. Like Garden Warfare 1 now it's harder to find games just because there's 2 other games in the series now, and Call of Duty, good luck getting a match in I don't know what.
It works, but yeah,
you find games, of course, but it's rarer and it's hard and annoying, and many games die because of that, like older games. Yeah,
it kind of.
I played a lot of VR actually recently. I wanted to get some stuff in, and I played have you guys heard of Blades and Sorcery?
I think I've played
Yes.
that even.
Yes.
One of the coolest innovations in VR I've played in a while. Blades and
never-
Sorcery. So it's by far the most realistic combat I've ever seen in any game, including VR. It feels like you're actually murdering people. I mean, obviously not, like my brain isn't, I'm not being tricked, but you actually, the stabbing force required, you actually need to stab. Like you need to hit hard to actually impale the person. And the combat is so fucking visceral. Like if someone gets in your face, you just punch them, or like you can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, go on.
No, it's that VR game where you can murder people like a psychopath.
Yeah,
Their
dude.
heads and the walls and shit.
Yeah, they're showing like decapitation like it's nothing here. I struggled. I only decapitated someone once by accident, and I was like, holy shit. But it's so cool. Like, you actually, at some point while I was fighting, I fell down a well, and instinctively I like reached down my hands and grabbed the ledge, and I actually was standing there like holding on, and the enemies, this AI couldn't cope with it. They were just like staring at me like, what the hell is this guy doing? But I struggled to climb out. Actually, for like 3 or 4 minutes, I was just hanging. But that was really funny. And yeah, like, you can grab people from the throat and then like throw them onto their friend. And oh, I didn't know you could do that. He just impaled through a wooden shield and killed someone. That's awesome. It's so cool. Like, I played it for so many hours just testing stuff and like kicking people off, and I love it. It's so cool. Really, the best combat, the best melee combat in any game ever. You can jump, you can electrocute, but what's the fun in electrocuting if you can like hit people with a giant mace? I really loved it. I've got a video coming up soon where I made a hideous character, the worst character you've ever seen, and then I fucked around in the game. But yeah, I love that game. That was so much fun. And you can, oh yeah, you can like force grab people with telekinesis, or not people, objects, and it's swords, and like throw them at people. I hit Simi in the head at some point. I felt terrible about it because you need to, and we like did like protective measurements, like, okay, tuck in your chair, go real low, whatever. But I still managed to like swing because you need to swing hard. But yeah, I felt really bad about that. She really was in pain, but she's okay now. Love hurts, right? But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Really liked that game. And quick mentions also, I played a VR game called Audio Trip. I'm gonna make this VR segment quite quick because I know that not a lot of people have it. Audio Trip, it's another music rhythm game. Because I kind of, Beat Saber is amazing, but I really wanted something else. And this one is by far the most active I've ever played. You need to, it's basically like the most like dancing and almost like exercising. You need to really go from corner to corner of your room quick to like hit all the notes. Unfortunately, oh right, this was also the game where I found the hitboxes in the held notes were finicky, and that kind of like completely pulled me out of the game constantly. And also the music choice was not that great, and it was only like 10 songs. Whereas I played a better version of Audio Trip called Synth Riders, which was older and has amazing music and was just a lot more fun in general. So basically, I recommend Synth Riders if you want a good music rhythm game. Yeah, that was just quick mentions for those. Any other VR stuff? Rage, are you ever gonna get VR? You said you were interested at some point.
Never, at some point.
Well, okay, sure, at some point you probably will, but I'm asking anytime soon, you think?
No.
No? Yeah.
No, I hate fun.
Let me see. Yeah, that's all the VR stuff. EA is coming to Steam, I guess. I mean, is there much to say? That's cool. I have to buy all my games again because I like my collections on Steam. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna
yeah,
on that.
it's curious how they will implement it. If they will make it like
It's gonna be like Uplay, I'm sure.
Yeah, like Uplay.
Yeah. You're gonna launch Sims 4. It's gonna launch Origin. Whatever. I'm gonna buy my EA games from now on Steam because of that.
Yeah, really looking forward, or at least looking forward to how it be the new Star Wars game.
I'm predicting now it's gonna be janky and mediocre.
I do not, because yeah, sure, it's EA, but it's also...
I'm not saying because EA. I don't care about EA at all. And I'm not saying that it's good because it's Respawn either. Just from what I've seen, the gameplay, it looks like it
look janky.
I thought it looked janky, and it looked. I saw a lot of. I love parkour and climbing and exploring. It looked like very linear. Like there was a small time period where like Lara Croft and whatever. There were so many games where it's like hold forward to walk across this beam and now climb up these vines and now go through the wall, the crack. And there was a lot of that from what I saw. Every time I saw gameplay, there was a lot of that. And I don't want to play Star Wars for that. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
you don't want exploring, basically.
No, but there was no exploring. No, I love exploring. I loved like Force Unleashed exploration because it was actually there were actually small secrets to find and stuff. It's very slow, un-Jedi-like, and very uninspired and linear. There was no real exploration. That's what I'm saying. I like the exploration in Vermintide. You actually look for stuff. In this, it looked like, well, you know, you just have to hold forward. Do you guys not remember when Rise of the Tomb Raider came out? The first hour or two, it was a big complaint. First hour or two is basically hold forward and watch things break and stuff. That sounds
awful.
And that was a lot of AAA games. I love that game, by the way, Rise of the Tomb Raider. But the first hour or whatever it was like that. And it kind of looked like that to me. I'm not saying the whole thing. I saw combat and stuff as well, but even the combat looked more, again, like Souls. Weird to compare it to, but I don't know. I really liked Force Unleashed. It's like you're swarmed by clone troopers. You like have all these force powers. You just slash through them. There was dismemberment, stuff like that. This one doesn't have that. I really
want to replay that now. I'll install it right now. But my dudes, if you want to play like actually good Star Wars game, I'm waiting for Jedi Knights War. It's been like it's been so long since we had a Jedi Knights game. I just want another one that's like with modern graphics, with modern effects and everything.
Yeah.
That game was fucking awesome. Jedi Academy was good. Jedi Outcast was even better. It's like Gunnar, you've never played it, right?
No.
Dude, you really should. I really think you would enjoy that.
But that was BioWare, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will be shut down after the failed Dragon Age game anyway.
Yeah, maybe.
I
don't know.
thought they'd be shut down from Anthem, honestly. I really thought.
Wait, no, that wasn't BioWare. Wait, who? Raven did Jedi Outcast.
Really, Raven?
Yeah, I'm 90% sure.
Well, Raven is in Activision's pocket, so that would...
Yeah, they like pretty much Jedi Outcast is pretty much it's Doom. It's literally the first half of the game is Doom, and then you get a lightsaber, and then it turns into I don't even know what it's supposed to be. Like it's kind of like it has one of the most satisfying, coolest lightsaber combat ever, and it worked really well in multiplayer too. Like you can duel people.
Oh yeah.
Like
by the way,
they literally put like a duel mechanic in the game where if you were on an FFA server, you could like press a button and then you would challenge somebody to a duel, and you get like a prompt on the screen, and you could like duel them back, and then you would be shielded from all outside damage, and you would just have a 1v1 in the middle of the battlefield.
Yeah.
That kind of shit was so cool.
By the way, Blades and Sorcery has a really prominent mod now where it all reskins all of the swords into lightsabers, and you actually get different ones. Like you get the Darth Maul one, you get like blasters and stuff.
Yeah, that shit is awesome, dude. I want this.
It works, dude. Seriously, when you get access to VR again and you whatever, get Blades and Sorcery. It's really amazing. It's really, really amazing. And you have the Force thing, and it actually feels real. It's basically what every kid wanted for years. Like, oh, I want a Star Wars game where I am a Jedi. Well, this is what it is.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
It's really
Right,
cool.
you didn't like Star Wars Kinect? You're telling me?
Was there a real Star Wars Connect, or are you talking about the Just Dance one? Or not Just Dance, the Dance
Well,
Central?
it wasn't just a dancing thing. It was
multiple things.
Oh, really? I just know the Dance I think it was Dance Central, where like, I'm Han Solo.
Yeah, that was part of it.
Okay, really, I didn't know.
Yeah. But even that, like, yeah, that would be awesome. But I would also just like I generally like these like old school kind of Doom games where you walk around, you kill shit, you get like 10 different weapons, you have like the rocket launcher and the shotgun and all that kind of stuff. And that Star Wars game is literally that, except you shoot up clone troopers. And then like later on down the line, you become really fucking powerful. You get your force powers back. You get fucking lightsabers and shit. It's fucking awesome.
Just play Star Wars Commando.
Republic Commando.
Yeah.
Like Republic Commando, but I feel like it really didn't age well. But
it didn't. But for its time, like the tactic, like the UI.
For its time, it was awesome. Yeah, I agree. But Academy, I feel like Jedi Outcast and Jedi Academy aged really well. The bots are fucking weird and dumb, but all the other stuff really good. Really aged really well.
Oh, I kind of I forgot to mention something kind of funny. I know it's completely out of nowhere now, but when I first got the Surge 2, a little bit after, like it was like a few days after the game came out, the devs made a post. Sorry, the devs made a post. Beginners tips, right? At the top of the post is a GIF of the final boss. And
Nice.
somehow they didn't think that that was a problem. And I was almost at the end of the game when I saw that, and I was like, I haven't seen that yet. Are they really so stupid to put the final boss? I was giving them the benefit of the doubt. I was like, I've still got like 30 minutes to an hour left of the game. Maybe it's like an enemy that you encounter. No, it's the final gameplay moment of the game. Is a GIF in a beginner's tips post for the game. And I just thought that was
really dumb.
incredibly stupid. And all the comments were like, great, thank you. And then they changed, they removed it to their credit. But still very stupid. I thought that was really funny. Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah, very smart.
Yeah, the dev was, by the way, the dev for Jedi Outcast was Raven and Vicarious Visions. Never heard of those, but
I know that name. Maybe.
they did the console port apparently.
Since
They ported a lot of shit.
Yeah, but Raven is reduced to like helping out with Call of Duty now every now and then, and doing some other odd jobs.
Yeah.
So they will.
Since we're on good sword combat, I also played an indie game, spiritual successor to A Bastard's Tale. This is called Driven Out, where you play as like some villager chick and your village gets attacked, and the game is all about attack up or attack down or attack right. And then you also block from those same directions, and it's all about just timing that, and your enemies try to like feign their attacks and fake you out, and it's all about just block, hit, block, 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 attack, whatever, and just timing and direction.
Sounds kind of like the what's it called, 2-button smash
One
thing
finger death
game?
punch.
One finger death
One finger death punch is a lot more just you just attack, you don't really defend, and it's different. But I'm sure, I mean, it's a little bit about like just reaction, but this is very hard.
Okay.
Like 3 hits and you're dead, and enemies take a beating and actually fight quite well, and yeah. But if anyone wants like just reactionary combat, this and A Bastard's Tale, this is just that but better. It's really fun but really hard, and just like Bastard's Tale, I will never beat it, so I gave up. But it's a good game. I just realized I haven't been showing gameplay at all this whole time. Sorry. It's called Driven Out. Here you go. Yeah. So there's that. I played a game called Border Patrol, which unfortunately I don't think will ever come out. I will actually show gameplay of this. I played a demo of Border Patrol, I should say. It's Papers, Please in VR with robots.
Nice.
Which, doesn't that sound awesome, by the way? Doesn't that sound really cool?
I didn't like Papers, Please, but
You didn't like Papers, Please?
I just didn't like it because it was like, look, I'm here to play video games, not to do work.
Okay, it's not your kind of game, I guess. Rage, did you play Papers, Please?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, this is that, but with robots in VR. It's just a demo, so it's like only 10-15 minutes long. But it's all about like they give you their ID, and then you check the manufacturer and the body shape of the thing, and you can like scan their body and find hidden compartments where they're like trying to what's the word I'm looking for? Like smuggle things. Like this robot here in the trailer is smuggling a cupcake, and you like penalize them for that. Yeah, it was really fun, but I think the devs have abandoned it a long time ago. There's like no updates, but if anyone
That
has
really
VR
sucks.
again, yeah. Yeah, that was
I
really
have
fun.
something I played recently
Sure,
after
yeah,
I got
give me a
pushed
break.
into it a lot. Fucking Borderlands 2.
Oh right.
Oh my god.
Did we not talk about Borderlands?
I don't think we did.
Okay, yeah.
Where,
I think you did last episode, but yeah.
Well, a little bit. I think I finished it now.
Mhm.
Last episode I definitely wasn't done yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I finished it now, and it was exactly what I expected. It was like pretty like I'm okay with like finishing. I'm really neutral on it. There's a lot of things where I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool, but then I remember them advertising the game as like, you have a bazillion guns, and then in the end it's like, oh, this gun just has different damage and does the same thing. There's like a couple unique guns which I thought were really cool, like the Infinity gun thing. I talked about that one last time.
Yeah, there's just a handful of unique ones, but the billion guns or whatever they say is basically just number changes and like slight look differences.
Yeah, there was a lot of things about that game that I didn't like, especially like the invisible walls and shit. Oh my god, that shit triggered.
I love Borderlands 2.
Yeah, I don't know how, but
I think I just get different things out of it. For example, for me, the the jokes carry it so much for me. I thought it was really funny.
Some jokes were really funny, like
Yeah.
when what's his face, the annoying robot.
Claptrap. You don't remember Claptrap's
Claptrap.
name?
Yeah, I just couldn't remember the name.
Okay.
When he like there's some at some point you're like, oh, give me a high five, but you could just let them hang.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
there's some-
yeah, and the combat is fun. I definitely would never play it single player. I did the first one, but now since playing Borderlands co-op, it's a co-op game for me. So you played it solo mostly.
I played it mostly solo, but I did play with a friend in co-op. And
what
like,
character did you play?
Nothing much changed.
What character did you play?
Oh, I played the Gunzerker in the single player, and then I tried the Siren in the second one. But like, I felt even their abilities were really like, eh.
Fair enough.
Like, you can like on Gunzerker, like that one's really fun because obviously you have 2 guns, and I like having infinite ammo, so that was really fun.
Right.
But then the Siren is like, oh, you press a button and like one guy flies up into the air and explodes.
No,
like,
for me, I played I am a Zero main.
The ninja dude.
Yeah, of course. But it's so fun to like, especially later on when you upgrade him, you can like just fly around, dashing, slashing through people, and going invisible and stuff. He's really fun.
Yeah, I see my friend do that, but like,
right. Yeah, that's fine. It's not for you. It's okay. But yeah. I'm basically done with my list. I have like 3 more games to talk about, so I might as well knock them out, I guess. I played Resident Evil 7, so I'm finally done with. I've finally played all mainline Zelda and Resident Evil games. I've completed my long adventure. Yeah, Resident Evil 7. Holy shit, that was an amazing game.
Oh, you finished it completely?
I finished it. I'm just going through the DLCs now, which are also great.
Oh, nice.
But
I was wondering because I saw you play it like yesterday night.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Wow, I love that game. I love that game. It's just like Breath of the Wild again, where it's just kind of like they change things a little bit for Resident Evil. Less so though. It's mainly the perspective and the atmosphere. The game does steadily decline in goodness by the end. Not to say that I didn't love it, but the beginning was really like this is a masterpiece kind of thing. Like I love the first 2-3 hours, really fantastic, and then it just like, oh, that was great towards the end. It's a really amazing game. The atmosphere, man, holy shit, and it's one of the most realistic looking games. That engine, RE engine, the faces, I don't know, they just look fantastic. There's something about it. Yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, you guys haven't played it, so I'm not going to continue. But I love that game. That was
I watched it. I will never play it. But
you watched
yeah,
it?
holy shit. The faces do look great.
I watched it like 3 times. I watched 3 different people.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you're very familiar with it then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that game, dude. Fuck. It's so good.
Yeah, they took it like, for some people complained it doesn't feel like a Resident Evil game.
I think those people...
But they were obviously inspired by PT.
Yeah. Although, didn't they announce this kind of quickly when like they couldn't have made it that fast? Or am I wrong?
Not sure.
Like maybe it was by chance is my point.
Maybe it was by chance. Like, but still, people are saying they were inspired by PT. And to be honest, they went in the right direction. Like, they made it more about the horror and less about the action, which it used to.
Yeah, I don't know, the people
5 and 6.
The people saying it's not like Resident Evil. It's just like classical Resident Evil games. It's just the perception.
Like the beginning, like you said, the first 3 hours.
Yeah.
It does, like at least the first hour, it doesn't feel like a Resident Evil game.
It does though.
When you get to the keys and you get to the like herbs and the puzzles, yes, then it becomes more and more a Resident Evil game. But the beginning, like, it reminds you more of Outlast and the other first-person
very
horror
Outlast,
genre games.
I loved it, man.
Resident Evil.
The main antagonist, Jack, is so good and so memorable and so well acted. I really loved that game. But yeah,
the story of the family is quite tragic, actually.
Yeah,
because
don't say much. Don't say.
Yeah.
But I really liked that. Yeah, just really good game. Something about the DLC. I just wanted to say one thing about one of the DLCs I played. It's such an interesting idea. It's a completely different character, completely different story, and you're basically locked in a bed, and the mother character comes in and she's being all weird and creepy in your face, and she's like, "Stay right here, and here's your gross food," or whatever, and then she leaves the room, and then that's when the game starts, the DLC starts, and it's like, okay, I need to escape the room.
Well, yeah, that's basically escape the room.
Yeah, have you seen the DLC, Rage?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to
all
talk
three
about a
of them.
specific thing I love about it is that you're doing an escape room basically. It's like, okay, pull off the lantern here, whatever, do all this shit, and then at some point you do something that triggers noise, and she's like, "What the fuck is that noise?" So she starts coming up the stairs, and you have a minute to put everything back the way it was and get back in bed. And if she notices one thing off, like there's a drawer that if you try to open, it's like, ah, fuck, it's stuck, and you can press it again to like burst it open, but then you can't close it back, so then you're fucked. So she'll like give you one stab, and then she's like, "Don't do that again," and she leaves. And if you do it again, you die. Or she's like, "That painting is in the wrong place," and then like, yeah. But I love that escape room where you have to revert everything back in a timer. And yeah, I love that DLC.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'm working my way through all of the DLCs, but I really love this game so much.
I really want to do an escape room in real life.
I did one. It was amazing. Yeah, sorry. What?
Yeah, I want to try them out as well.
Yeah, if you guys come to Cyprus, we'll do one together. There's a horror one that me and Simi haven't done because our friend was scared at the time to do it. If you guys come over, we'll do it together.
Sure, I'll just if I randomly end up in Cyprus, I'll let you.
Yeah, if it just happens.
Yeah,
Sorry, Rage. Sorry.
You just jump on the ship.
No, just the other DLCs are quite good as well. Although
Don't say too much because I do wanna. I'm really excited.
Yeah, one of them is a lot of wasted potential, like
Okay.
story-wise, in my opinion.
All right.
Like where you punch a lot,
Okay.
which is not Chris Hadfield. It's another dude that punches. a lot.
Okay. We'll see.
But yeah.
Yeah, and they changed Chris's face. I don't know why games love doing that. Very strange. Anyway, yeah, enough about Resident Evil. Finally got through the mainline series. Metroid is next. I'm gonna finish that off.
Oh yeah, right. You started those.
Yeah, I loved all of them.
Back.
Dude, I
need to get back.
Dude,
and play
Metroid
the other ones.
Fusion, I think, so good, so good. Similar to Resident Evil in ways, which might surprise you. Really fantastic game. And next is Prime. I was so not excited for them because of the Wii mode, but Skyward Sword kind of made me go like, maybe it's not that bad. So I'm gonna try it out. But yeah, you stopped at Metroid 2, right?
I played on too hard, and then the game was like, oh yeah, you just need to button mash like 20 presses a second while dodging shit.
It's hard enough on normal. Just now you can. Now it's been a while. Start it again. Go through them. They're good.
I'll think about it.
I love Fusion. Yeah. There's that, and the last game I've been playing is Prison Architect. I briefly mentioned it the other day. I just wanted to give it another mention. Because actually, there's like new DLCs coming out now. So there's like a psych ward thing, which was on consoles previously, but now they bring it to PC, something like that. But anyway, I love that game, dude. There's so many. It's like what you described with RimWorld, Tommy, where just there's always stories happening. Like at some point, I had a riot break out, and I was like trying to control it, and then I realized, oh shit, they just broke open my armory and grabbed shotguns and escaped the prison. So, or like at some point I forgot to put a drain at the bathroom and it like flooded the room, and yeah, I don't. It's just I'm having a lot of fun with it. Just like upgrading my prison. I'm trying to be good to them. I make libraries. I help them with rehabilitation, alcoholics programs, but they're ungrateful. I should start doing. I should do execution chairs, honestly.
They are the scum of the society.
Yeah, and I am choosing to take highest risk prisoners because it brings more money. But still, they shouldn't. Still.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Prison Architect. I tried it multiple times, and every time I was like, I always feel like it gives you everything at the start, and then like when you start out, you already kind of have everything. Like when you start out, you immediately need you need cells, you need bathrooms, you need showers, you need You need like a cafeteria, which means you need a cook. You also need offices for the people. So immediately, like you already have like a myriad of things that you have to like pay attention to.
Yeah.
But I don't like that much. I like to have it like one thing after the other. Like in RimWorld, your
Right.
first objective is don't let your people sleep outside. It'll get cold, and they don't like it.
Right.
And then, like over time, it's like, like with mods, they will need toilets.
Yeah,
then
yeah, I
later down the
get
line,
that.
or that.
I mean, but once you do that, everything you described is done in like the first 5-10 minutes, and then after that, it is one by one. You know, you just like get income, and then I'm gonna give them a store, or I'm gonna give them a laundry room, or whatever.
Yeah, but that never really feels necessary in my eyes, at least.
No,
It is,
it's not
like-
necessary. You're right, but it keeps them happier, which means less riding. It's more like there's less of an end goal. It's kind of like Minecraft, where you kind of need to just enjoy the loop itself to like carry you through, I guess.
Yeah. The time thing, like in RimWorld, what kind of keeps me going too, there is that you constantly are pressured by different things. Like, yeah, you can like not care about your food right now, but the winter's coming, so you gotta like you have a time pressure going on that you need enough food so you can go through the winter. Or there's like constantly waves and barrages of enemies coming of different kinds. So you need to constantly upgrade your weapons, constantly arm up.
Here the one threat is your prisoners rioting, or maybe you get like I think the government can send you stuff and you get game over or whatever. It's just you have to do everything well, keep them like relatively happy, or else you'll get fucked. But I mean, the thing is also, yeah, I think coming to this after RimWorld might be harmful, because this was much older and it's a very niche thing. It's just about a prison, whereas RimWorld, I believe, it's like more open, like you survive, so there's a lot more involved, I guess. This is just a prison.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe when I play RimWorld I'll love it more than this, I don't know, but yeah, right now I'm really enjoying this a lot. Yeah, it's good. I haven't had like, I know that people can like dig tunnels behind the toilets and try to escape and stuff. I haven't had that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me.
Oh, really? So I'm just a better ward than you. All right.
I mean, yeah, they kind of like, you can like search the cells and then you find out, oh shit, they've dug a hole. Yeah, here's another thing that's like close to that I've like jumped into again, and I've never finished that game ever, but I always go back to it, and it's Oxygen Not Included. That game is so fucking difficult.
Yeah, you tell me about that one a lot.
Holy shit, it's like insane. Like you need to, at the start, you need to like figure out so many things, but every time you get smarter afterwards and you're like, oh, I know how to do this now. They did make things easier though, but still. And it's like, it's such a unique concept. I've never seen this anywhere else, where like not only do you like, usually when you play games like this, it's like, oh yeah, all your resources are kind of infinite, right? Like you can get iron from the mountains, or you like wood you just get from somewhere. But in Oxygen Not Included, kind of everything is limited, and you have to like survive as long as you possibly can. Like water to some degree is infinite, but then the only water that you can get infinitely on a regular basis is usually from geysers, and geysers are they emit hot water, so you need to cool that down. But because of the way temperature works, you're in like an asteroid, and right outside there's no like you can dig to the surface, but it's just a fucking asteroid. So there's no way you can vent the temperature out, except for heating up gases and then venting those into space. There's like some really, really weird and convoluted things you can do. And just being in space, like heat is actually a huge problem. It's like what kills half my fucking colonies. Yeah, it looks crazy.
Fun. And I do enjoy clay, so I'll pick it up at some point.
It's like, I don't enjoy clay games, but this one's awesome.
Really? I like a lot of them, except their most popular one, Don't Starve, didn't hook me that much.
I really didn't like Don't Starve either.
Then again, I did the Minecraft where I played it a lot in like alpha or pre-alpha, and then it came out and now it has a tons of stuff. And Terraria. I've done this with all these survival games, and now it has so much, and I'm like, don't feel like it. Survival is just harder for me to get into. But like, I love Mark of the Ninja, Shank, Eats. Nobody knows Eats. Eats is great. I haven't.
I'm just looking through it. I have almost played none of those. I just
I've-
realized.
Yeah, everybody just knows them for Don't Starve, which I mean, sure, it's cool, but yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen Eats.
So
No.
that's all my games. If you guys are done, we could maybe end it. Or is there something that you guys are looking forward to? I know that there's one game that's coming out this week that I'm looking forward to. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's called Superliminal.
Superliminal.
Yeah. It's a game where it's... just watch a trailer. It'll blow your mind immediately in the first 2 seconds. Here, I'll link it in Discord if you want.
Is it from?
Yeah, I linked it in Discord.
Is it from Pillow Games? The trailer.
Yeah,
oh,
Pillow
yep,
Castle,
I can
yeah.
see what it is.
So the
I can
first
see what's
thing, you
going
see they
on.
grab the cube, and then just depending on where you move it and walk, the perspective completely blows your mind. I've never seen anything like that. It really reminds me of like Anti-Chamber and just weird.
Yeah, I was about to say this looks like Stanley Parable and Anti-Chamber.
Yeah, just
kinda
mind
combined.
fucks, yeah.
Speaking.
Wow. I'm looking forward to that this week. Hopefully I'll get a code and I can review it. We'll see.
Speaking of Stanley Parable, I'm looking forward to the new version they're making. I suppose.
Yeah, me too. I forgot what it was called. It was like only on PlayStation or something, and now it's coming to PC.
No, it's also coming to PC.
What was it called? Stanley Parable
No idea.
Ultra Deluxe? Is that it?
Probably.
Yeah, that is it. Yeah. Yeah, I loved Stanley Parable. I think I can finally get the achievement, which is to play it 4 years later.
Wait, what?
There's an
What
achievement.
was it 4 years?
There's an achievement. Let me see. It's here. Don't play the Stanley Parable for 5 years. When did I last play it? 2015. Nope. Gotta wait a little bit more.
Stanley, let me see.
That's such a dumb achievement. Don't
Yeah.
play our game for like.
Oh, 2013. I could
Good amount
do
of
that.
time.
2013.
Yeah, I played it when it came out.
Yeah, me too. Oh, but I guess I played it again in 2015. I fucked myself.
Damn, Superliminal. I'm looking through the trailer. Holy shit.
Yeah, it
that
looks
looks
really cool,
awesome,
right?
Actually.
Yeah. Yeah, Stanley Parable, there's an achievement which is impossible to get, which is kind of annoying for my completionist within me. But 4% of people have it because they like hacked it through. There's a software that you can do that, which is kind of bullshit. But play the Stanley Parable for the entire duration of a Tuesday. That's an achievement.
Jesus, well, who came up with this shit?
I mean, it fits the game.
It kind of does.
Yeah, that was a really
But
good
that's
game.
like a bit. That's a.
It's a
like-
bit
like, that's a
annoying.
really weird
Yeah,
thing.
like I'm never gonna get this. I'm never gonna get.
Like, yeah, if you want to 100% the game, you literally need to play or not play for 5 years.
Oh yeah, there's an achievement. I don't know if you guys know the VR game, The Gallery, Call of the Starseed. Really good game. I have all the achievements except the one which is spend the night in the beach tent. So they want you to lie down with your VR headset in the tent in game for a few hours.
Nice.
Obviously a joke achievement, but that's the only one stopping me from my 100%, which is annoying. Like I got so many other achievements. Like I went through all the collectibles and stuff, and I'm not gonna fucking leave my headset on the floor for a night for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could
There's
just sleep
only
in your
one
headset.
game that I actually 100%ed.
What, Rage?
I'm just saying, there's only one game I 100%
Oh, yeah?
on Steam, I think. I don't usually care for that. Yeah.
Well, what game is that?
What was it? Wait, what the name? You probably all played it. Let me find it. Too many fucking
One
games.
honorable mention before it dies completely. Splitgate, me and Tommy have been playing still. Pretty fun.
Hell yeah.
RIP in about 1-2 months when Halo comes out. I don't like saying it, but I think me and a lot of other people, it's just filling that void of Halo until it comes out on PC. It is a great game,
Yeah,
though.
maybe.
I really, really do enjoy it. So I wish them luck.
I have like one more game that I played.
Yeah.
Like a really, really jank one. I don't know
Sure.
why that didn't come to mind earlier. Nobody knows this game. It's called First Feudal. It looks like absolute dog shit. It plays like pretty much dog shit. It's really weirdly developed by one guy that doesn't even speak English that well. But he tell he puts his shit into the game, and he tries to make a fun video game, and he succeeded. It's pretty good.
Let me see.
It's like really unique. Well, not really unique, but it's kind of unique in what you do. Usually when you're playing games like these, like survival colony sort of games, you usually you're supposed to like either build it all alone, or you like top down and you control your pawns or whatever and send them around to build shit. But here you both. Like you can sit on a throne and you can command your people around, or you can just do shit yourself. And you build a castle instead of well, it's supposed to be a castle. It's kind of a village with a fence around, but
Okay.
you're supposed to build a castle. And there's like things that come and try and kill you, and there's like random events, and some of them have like really weird spelling. I feel like the guy that did this is Russian, at least I imagine, because of the way he writes the stuff. It's like
Are
really
you saying
funny
the
to
Russians
me.
are the bad guys?
Yes, the Russians are
you
indeed the
write
bad guys,
Call of
but they
Duty?
do make good. They do make good video games. Like there's stuff. Wait, I had a screenshot a second ago. Oh yeah, like the amount of Jag stuff is really funny too. And sometimes herbalist in the village. Herbalist arrived in the village. You'll never heard of him, but the rumor has he once saved an entire village from starvation. What should you do? And then you can choose like 4 different things, and there's like 3 things that you need requirements for. And I had like at that point I had like no money, and so I couldn't pay him for to buy a potion. Yeah, the 2 options are buy a potion and drink it, or sprinkle it over your food. And then the third one is to make an infusion, which you need like a special thing for. So I didn't have that either, so I couldn't click any of those. And then there was only one more option, and that was beat up and rob this rogue. So I had to I had to beat him up because I had no money for anything else, and I couldn't just let him go away.
Nice.
Or there was an option where like an event where there's a bear around, and he can like there's always like a percentage chance or something, like there's a 20% chance he eats all your sheep or something like that. And then one of them is always, you could just ignore it, it's like 70% bear come. There's stuff like that all over
That's
the place.
great. Actually, I don't know, why didn't we think of talking about the fact that we finally played Dungeons and Dragons?
Because I thought you didn't want to, because it's not a video game.
Yeah, I know, but it's kind of like in the same realm. I just think it's,
No.
I mean, whatever.
I mean, if you want to.
I mean,
we
just to
can
close
save
it
for next
out.
time.
We can just close it out with a
Okay,
quick.
sure.
Oh, I found a game.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Actually, it's not the only game, but 100%.
Okay.
One game is Intrusion 2, which is an amazing game.
Oh, is that? Wait, let me see if it is. Is it the one which is like Yeah, dude. I thought of this recently. I reinstalled it just in case. I couldn't remember it because of the generic ass name.
That game has one of the best boss fights.
Oh yeah,
my
I never
opinion.
finished it.
You should. Oh, you definitely should.
I
It's a
know. I loved
boss
every
fights done
second.
right.
I loved every second I played of it. It's like yeah, it's kind of like these old like Metal Slug, Contra, Cuphead
Yeah.
now, just these like old school shooters. But it's also kind of physicsy. Like everything moves. Like you could. I don't know. It felt really good. The gunplay felt really good. Yeah. So you got 100% on that. Or what else then?
Yeah. Spiral Knights.
Spiral Knights. That's a hard one to 100%. I would imagine.
Nah.
No?
It's okay.
Alright.
Oh, yeah. This achievement, 1.0% of all players got this, but that's
Yeah.
because it's free to play. Yeah.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. These are all like 0.5% and 0.3%. So yeah, it's just because it's free.
Yeah,
to play.
yeah.
Everyone, technically everybody. has it.
I mean, I want to quickly just close out the podcast by saying that we did D&D. I think that's interesting. Like, we've never done a pen and paper thing properly before. At least I haven't. I don't think either of you have either.
Nope.
Yeah, and
Not in that vein.
that's why I called Tommy at the beginning GM, and that's why I called Rage Lizard Man. I think subconsciously, I didn't even realize that.
Really? I thought it was like a clear direction that you wanted to go.
Oh,
and
I
then
thought
start
you
off with
just
it, maybe.
wanted to out me as a skate.
Yeah, the joke
So
was that
nice.
he was like a reptilian person, but I think I subconsciously thought of it like that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the funny moments. Like, I thought it was really cool that Tommy, you did a good job for your first session, and I just
Well,
love
thank you.
and I just think it was really funny that Rage felt the need to steal a potion that I fairly found myself and then drink it.
Wait,
You didn't.
can I
You
explain?
bought it all together and you just got it.
Yeah, that's true. But it was
you know,
given
you
to me, and then
should
you
have
just fucking steal it from my pocket.
Well, it worked out all in the
Let
end.
me just explain real quick, like what the fuck even like was going on. So we all like that was like 2 months ago or so. We were all like, hey, like I was always wanted to play D&D.
Yeah.
I was just asking around, like, hey guys, do you want to play D&D? And we got like a couple people together, and obviously because we're all over the fucking place, we cannot play locally, so we'll have to like use a program. And then I got really frustrated learning the program, having nobody to explain the rules to me, or like point me at least in a good direction, so we can do like a quick small campaign at least. Yeah, so it took me a while. Then like 2 weeks ago I started picking it up again. I was like, yeah, do you guys actually want to play? And I picked up all of the books. I picked up pretty much everything. Like I'm fucking reading all day. I spent a couple hundred hours doing like making the campaign, getting like all of the stuff together, all of the like assets. You have to like get tokens and stuff and like put them into the program, and then think of like, imagine you have to write a book. Except you, for this first time, we only did one adventure. So I like picked like a baseline adventure, took most of that, and then improved on it, and that's what we kind of played. So we all started off in like I wasn't even playing. I'm pretty much like, for anybody who has never played D&D. I didn't even want to be the game master, but it's really fun. So I'm the one that like makes up all the adventures and thinks of all, like interprets all of the rules, and the other people are the ones that are playing it. So I put everyone in a storm, and then there was like a little event where you have to play out what happened to the storm, and then you get into a big cave with a necromancer in it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to like explain the whole thing. I just thought it was funny that Rage felt the need to, but that's part of the role playing, and I thought that was still really interesting.
Yeah, just in case, like, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more of that. Yeah, that's it. Just it's fun. I like doing it. I would love to like. I've seen a lot of people do like entire podcasts where they play the game live. That would be fun to do one day.
I've seen people. Well, yeah, you could do that. I've seen some people play D&D. The way I kind of want to go is in a little bit more video gamey way, where
Right.
obviously you like have like, obviously there's gonna be like quests and stuff you have to do. Well, not have to, but you can do. I'll always give like the option to do something. But I've seen people like one that's super duper popular is Matt Mercer's one. And he uses, or at least in like the stuff that I watched, he uses almost nothing visually. He just like, he's really good at explaining stuff and explaining the situations, making up characters on the fly, and just kind of explains what happens. And they didn't even fight for like 3 hours in a row or something. They were just walking around in a town, in a tavern, like getting drunk and all sorts of things.
Yeah, I think a good mix is the best. A little bit of this kind of roleplay in NPC interaction, and then some combat as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like, but then everybody has like their own thing. And me having, it's like, I feel like it's a really big detriment if you never played anything like D&D before, and then you're supposed to like make the game for the others. So yeah, I had like a couple hundred of pages to read through.
Yeah. No, you did good, dude.
Yeah.
You did really good.
Well, thanks.
All right, yeah. If you guys don't have anything else you'd like to say, which
Nope.
That's my way of asking, do you have anything else to say?
No.
All right.
I'm good.
Okay then. Thank you for watching, everybody. We'll see you in like a year when we do the next episode. I'm trying to stall for time while I get the music.
Happy New Year, guys.
Yeah. Well, no, we'll do another one. We'll do another one. All right.
Are you sure?
Well, I don't know. We'll see. All right. Thank you
We'll
for watching, everybody. That's it. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.